time for Peninsula Oilers baseball on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM. The 2026 Peninsula Oilers pregame show is brought to you by Sweeney's Clothing, including a look around the league featuring scores and standings and starting lineups and pitching matchups as we go around the horn. Sponsored by Januar Towing and...
We doing coaching corner on the fly, or is there something in the thing I didn't see?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be on the fly.
Demons Variety, Gentle Dental, Central Peninsula Hospital, and Ashman House Real Estate. The three-time national champion Peninsula Oilers game broadcasts on ESPN. Also brought to you by Steam on Wheels, Dan's Automotive, Kenai Peninsula College, White Spruce Trailer Sales, Dam Construction and Roofing, and Breakway Dentistry. The 2026 Oilers baseball season on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM. Also sponsored by Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics, Earhart, Elsner and Cooley Attorneys at Law, Eyewear Express, Jumpin' Junction, and Soldotna Professional Pharmacy. Oilers baseball is also brought to you on ESPN by AK Express, Arthur's Cocina, Odyssey Family Practice, AK Tree Solutions, and Playa Azul. The Peninsula Oilers postgame show is sponsored by Peninsula Community Health Services with game recaps and on-field interviews. Now let's go live to today's Oilers game with the ESPN broadcast team.
Well, good evening and welcome to Coral Seymour Memorial Park, coming to you live from the Dan Gensel broadcast booth. I'm Nick Sorrell along with Dylan Simmons. Our broadcast producer tonight is Caleb Manuel back in our K-Beach studio. We have got a great game queued up for you here. The Oilers taking on the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. It's Game 4 of a 5-game series. The Oilers have taken the last 2 after the Chinooks took the first game. Last night it went down to the wire. The Oilers pulling it off in the bottom of the 10th inning on a walk-off single by Luke Lusky. We'll talk about all that and more in the Sweeney's pregame show, which is coming up here in just a moment. But before we head that direction, you know what to do. Yeah, hop on the phone, send out a message, make a phone call, make a social media post. Let your friends, your family, and your neighbors know the Peninsula Oilers back in action tonight at home, taking on the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Sweeney's pregame show coming up next right here on ESPN 1140 AM, 96.9 FM, RadioKenai.com, and streaming on the Peninsula Oilers YouTube channel.
The warehouse is open at Sweeney's Clothing in Saldana. Come discover amazing deals with savings from 30 to 70% off on flannels, jeans, footwear, jackets, and a wide variety of summer essentials. Plus, they've got lots of new merchandise you didn't see last year. Whether you're heading to work, hitting the trails, or getting the family ready for summer, now's the time to stock up and save. Don't miss the warehouse sale at Sweeney's Clothing in Saldana. Your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
Let's talk about something that's not always top of mind, but still really important, life insurance. Because it offers financial protection for your loved ones and can help them pay for things like a mortgage, credit card debt, and even your children's education. Plus, life insurance is probably a lot more affordable than you think. And with State Farm, the local agent can help you understand your options and choose coverage that fits your needs and budget.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
Welcome to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons with you for this Oilers game 4 of a series against the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks in Kenai. Cloudy skies tonight, unlike the sunshine we've had the last couple evenings, but still a favorable wind. That is to say, relatively no wind here at Coral Seymour, which we like for the long ball.
We certainly do, and we've seen a lot of long balls in this series. 5 total home runs already, Nick. We saw another one yesterday from Luke Lusky. This Oilers offense really firing on all cylinders right now, as we've mentioned many times in this series. A dramatic extra innings win yesterday, and now they have a chance to claim the overall series here at home with a win tonight.
That would be a fantastic way for this week to get underway. It's only Wednesday, and it's already been a fantastic week. As Dylan was talking about, the Oilers offense has been unequivocally the top offense in the ABL this year, currently leading the league in hits at 164, RBIs at 107, walks 130, home runs 8, and team batting average. If you own all those stats as a team, you're like the 1956 Yankees. I mean, you are off the chain. And speaking of those 130 walks, 23% of the team's walks belong to one man.
Yes.
That's Brooks Hasenclever.
32 walks generated so far this season. Nothing short of a historic pace for Hasenclever. You call him Hawkeye Hasenclever, and for a good reason. But this offense not just about Brooks. Lusky's coming on strong. Jack Kolobowski, who's in the 4 spot tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later. He's been on a hard charge as of late. Mark Nellis, there are so many key components to this offense that makes it as sensational as it is, and they're producing at an all-time rate right now.
An interesting note here in the lineup. Tonight we're missing Luke Lusky and Owen Musial, who have been mainstays, solid batting averages, hits leaders not only on the team but in the league. And we're not sure if they're getting the night off, maybe just a little bit overtaxed with a lot of games in a row.
Right.
But if it is a break, well-deserved break. And some changes in the lineup. Jack Kolobowski, who last night was batting in the 7 spot, has moved up to the cleanup spot at number 4. Brooks Hasenclever once again batting leadoff. Then Mark Nellis, Nolan Graw, and Jack Kolobowski. Those 4 in order batting .322, .286, .400, and .313. When the Chinooks get to that part of the lineup, they better buckle up.
Yes, and they're going to have a big problem, I would say, with that top of the lineup, with how consistent they've been. The key for the Oilers, and I've mentioned it before, they generate their own luck. They find ways to get on plate, whether it's by a walk, by a single, by a double, by a home run. They can attack you in a lot of different ways. That's what makes them so consistent and so dangerous, and that dynamic that they're going to have to face tonight, the Chugiak Chinooks that is going to be very fascinating to watch.
Excited to see this game. It's going to be Game 4 again of the 5-game set. As Dylan mentioned earlier, a win tonight for the Oilers locks in the win for this current series. As far as the season series goes, Oilers winning that one 3-2. And I would have to pull up the schedule, but do these two teams face each other again on the road?
Yes, they will face at least a couple more times on the road in the month of July in that big 9-game road stretch. So not done after this series, but pretty close to it.
It's been a great ride for the Oilers. We'll step aside here on the Sweeney's pregame show. When we come back, we'll chat a little bit more and take a look around the league. It's the Sweeney's pregame show on ESPN Radio.
Upstairs at Beeman's, talking with Steve. If you're looking for those homeschool supplies, Beeman's is your first stop.
Matt, we work with Connections and Idea and Raven homeschool programs. We have your basic homeschool supplies, educational aids, and games. We have workbooks and science kits, reading books and sports equipment, arts and craft supplies. Check with your school to see when the allotments are going to be available.
You'll find all that located here at Beeman's on the Kenai Highway in Soldotna.
Gentle Dental in Soldotna provides modern dental care in a welcoming, comfortable environment where patients feel right at home. They're also preparing to offer dental implants in the coming months. Patients with missing teeth, failing teeth, or ill-fitting dentures who are non-smokers are encouraged to schedule an evaluation. Combined with an advanced new 3D imaging technology, Gentle Dental continues to deliver precise, predictable care. Call Gentle Dental in Soldotna today at 907-262-8834 to schedule an appointment. With the latest scores, standings, and news from around the league, let's take a look around the league. Brought to you by SLP Alaska on ESPN 1140 at 96.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons live from the Dan Gensel broadcast booth at Coral Seymour Memorial Park in Kenai. Oilers and Chinooks about to get underway. First pitch scheduled for about 9 minutes from now. Here on the Sweeney's pregame show, we'll switch over to that in a moment. And no rain in the forecast, but the clouds do look a little bit iffy, and game time temperature sitting at 61 degrees. Time now to take a look around the league. What do you got for us, Dylan?
Well, we had 2 big games in the ABL yesterday, and would you believe it? Both of them went to 10 innings. First, it was the Bucks and the Glacier Pilots in the intercity matchup at Mulcahy Stadium. The Bucks taking home that win 8-7 to move to 11-9 overall on the season. And, of course, you listen to the Oilers take down the Chinooks 7-6 in 10 innings yesterday as well, right here on ESPN. Taking a look at the ABL standings, the Oilers atop the standings now by a game and a half over the Matsu Miners at 9-7. Oilers are 13-8. The Bucks now tied for second as well at 11-9. Chugiak falling all the way down to fourth after yesterday's loss. They're 11-10, 2 games back of the Oilers. And the Glacier Pilots, after suffering another loss, 5-15 and 7.5 games behind the first place Peninsula Oilers.
Baseball, definitely a game of ebbs and flows as the season goes along. Oilers again without Owen Musel and Luke Lusky in the lineup tonight. And those two have been big-time contributors for the Oilers offensively. And tell me, what do you think they need to do to keep their foot on the gas without those two in the lineup? We have a notable drop in team batting average, not a huge one, just a slight one without those two, but a couple guys that we haven't seen consistently in the starting lineup, Brady Brown and Luke Skinner, down at the bottom of the order tonight. Tell me, what do you think are the Oilers going to need from that bottom half of the order?
Well, I think what you're looking for from the bottom half is to serve as a gateway to that top part of the order, and they're not expecting a hit in every at-bat, but you want to get the occasional single, maybe a double in between at some point if you can get it. They're looking for those guys to set up the guys at the top of the order, and if they can get more, that would be fantastic. But you're really trying to get the occasional hit and then serve it up for that top part of the order, so we'll see if they can get that dynamic going. But those guys certainly capable of getting the job done. I'm also looking big time at Wyatt Bundy tonight in that 7 spot. Young guy, not even in college yet, but he's got a lot of potential. I think he could be on the verge of a big night tonight as well.
Wyatt Bundy, 7 hits and 2 RBIs in limited at-bats, but he is batting .333 in those ABs. On a note tonight here at Oiler Park, it is Aspen Senior Living tonight. So if you are in the area and you come to swing by, make sure you bring your handheld radio, your cell phone, however it is. You can stream the game. I guess you can just bring it and have YouTube going, or the Radio Kenai stream. So we always want you to be a part of the action, tuning in as well as watching. But if you do come by the park tonight, make sure you swing by and say hello to the folks from Aspen Senior Living. We'll step aside here on the Sweeney's pregame show. When we come back, it's your it's your Coach's Corner on ESPN Radio.
Great news, Kenai. The Central Peninsula Kenai Health Center is expanding to better serve our community. We're proud to once again offer lab services, screening mammography, and bone density screenings all in one convenient location right here in Kenai. We're proud to bring these important services back to the Kenai community because everyone deserves access to quality health care close to home. Learn more at cpgh.org or call 907-714-4495. Central Peninsula Kenai Health Center, compassionate, personalized health care close to home.
Thinking about a new place to land here on the Kenai Peninsula? At Ashman Krause Real Estate, we believe real estate should feel clear, calm, and personal from the very first conversation. Whether you're buying your first home, moving across town, or preparing to sell, we guide you through every step with local knowledge and genuine care.
Ashman Krause Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate,
guiding you home with care.
This is Mark from Team on Wheels. Wanted to talk to you about the Greer poly tanks that we are now stocking. We've got tank sizes from 1,000 gallon, 1,250, 1,500 gallons. What sets them apart from the competition is that they have up to a 10-foot variance. Sometimes you need a tank that can withstand more than 4 feet, and these are where these poly tanks really shine. We do have tanks in stock. As a customer, you can come by and pick them up, contractors as well. Please give us a call. It's Team on Wheels, 907-262-3240.
And now let's get to the pregame show's coach on ESPN 1140 and 6.9.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons coming to you from Coral Seymour Memorial Park on a cool evening here in Kenai, rather. Not terribly warm, but not terribly chilly either. Comfortable temperature. And right now we're going to give you some Coach's Corner preview. Unfortunately, we're not able to get a guest to join us in the booth, but that's okay because we have plenty to talk about, especially from that coaching perspective. Some great coaching decisions last night from Coach Dave Dawson in that game. Are there any in particular from last night that stand out to you?
I think when you look at the management of of the pitchers last night, it certainly helped. We talk a lot about Luke Dixon and what he can do as a starter on the mound, and I think the decision that he had in the 5th inning, Coach Dawson that is, was a big part in the Oilers getting a win. Leaving him in after a troubling top half of the 4th inning was a bold decision, but it worked out well. Dixon got 3 straight outs, and the Oilers kept on trucking after that. I think that has to be looked at in a huge way, because if you take Dixon out, who knows what happens in that middle point in the game. Maybe the Oilers aren't able to maintain the lead and then get it later in extra innings. So I think that was a big decision last night from Coach Dawson.
That was the first place my mind went as well. That was a clear coaching moment where you had a pitcher who went out there, got knocked around a little bit, gave up a lead, allowing the Chinooks to put up 3 runs in that top half of the 4th. But boy, did Luke Dixon show his mettle coming out in the top of the 5th and getting the Chinooks 1, 2, 3. And it was not an easy part of the order either. It was 2, 3, 4 in the lineup, and he struck out 2 batters who are, one of them being a league leader in Phoenix West, who came into the game batting 333 last night, got him swinging to end the inning. And now shifting over, still talking about pitching, we'll look at tonight. The Oilers will send Cody Smathers to the mound. He is number 2 in the league in strikeouts with 25 in 4 appearances. Clearly one of the mainstay arms for this Oilers pitching staff.
Oh, he absolutely is. He is a master of the fastball, and like we have mentioned, he is a master of strikeouts as well. Look for him to go high-volume strikeouts, especially early in the game. The big thing will be how long can he last before the bullpen has to come into play here. Oilers, I think, will be looking for at least 4 to 5 good innings from him tonight, and if they can get that from Smathers with a relatively low score, I like their chances with how well their offense has been performing.
That is the thing with strikeout pitchers, is trying to keep that pitch count under control and avoid those 3-ball, 2-strike counts. The less full counts you can have, and the more you can get ahead of hitters in the pitching, or rather in the strikeout or in the strike count, is a very ideal way to approach that. So we'll see how that turns out. That is your Coach's Corner. We'll step aside when we come back. It is your Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups here on the Sweeney's pregame show on ESPN Radio.
Yes, Steam on Wheels does install lift stations. Generally, a lift station is required with high groundwater or some type of elevational difference that's going to require a pressurized mound or bed. But they do provide an excellent sewer system when installed correctly. Conventional septics are the preferred way to go. But when you have high groundwater or an elevational difference where you've got to pump it up a hill to do it conventionally, a lift station may be the only way to go. Give us a call at Steam on Wheels, 907-262-3240.
Uh-oh, that summer road trip isn't going far without Dan's Automotive. We've been saving Alaskans from roadside meltdowns with quick tune-ups, oil changes, and brakes that actually stop when you want them to. Dan's Automotive, located at the Napa Parts Building, is the secret ingredient to any successful adventure. Call 907-420-0416 and let Dan fix what your cousin
Keep going for the national anthem, please.
Dan's Automotive. No duct tape required. Fall is just around the corner.
You want me to continue from the national anthem, you said?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Registration for the fall semester is now open, offering the classes you need close to home. And big news, our residence hall is now open. You can once again experience full campus life, build lifelong friendships, and live where you learn while taking classes at KPC or any UA campus. Don't wait.
Come back with
Secure
a
your
Genoir
classes today at kpc.alaska.edu.
Right now?
Find your place at KPC.
The Sweeney's Clothing pregame show continues as we go around the horn with today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Genoir Towing and Recovery on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons with you. Time for your Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups. If you need a tow or help recovering a vehicle or heavy equipment, call Genoir Towing and Recovery at 907-394-6068. We'll start it off with the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, coming in with an 11-10 record. 4th in the league. Batting first will be the shortstop, number 6, Reese Vassar. The center fielder, Kai Butler, wears the number 3. He will bat second. And batting third, left fielder, Phoenix West. Cal Whip will be the cleanup man, the designated hitter. Then it's Drew Hurst, J.J. Pruneau, Carter Reed, Samuel Hess, and Tate Green. We'll be right back with the Oilers lineup after the national anthem on ESPN Radio.
Looking for the toughest trailers and equipment on the Kenai? Head to White Spruce Trailer Sales on K Beach Road, your local dealer for TYM tractors. That's right, they have TYM tractors and implements. Anything from TYM pallet forks, box blades, snow removal, and more. Built to work as hard as you do. From sales to service, they've got the parts you need to keep your equipment running strong all year long. Speaking of service, White Spruce offers a full-service shop with special discounts for commercial companies because supporting local businesses matter. WhiteSpruce.com. Looking for a solid job with great pay and room to grow? Dam Construction and Roofing is hiring roofers and general laborers across the Kenai Peninsula. They offer competitive pay based on experience, overtime opportunities, paid sick leave, and full-time seasonal work. No experience? No problem. If you're dependable, motivated, and ready to learn, they'll provide the opportunity. Join one of the Kenai Peninsula's fastest-growing roofing companies. Call 907-262-3996 today or visit dambuilt.com. Dam Construction and Roofing, building careers one roof at a time.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is a new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
The World Cup's coming and everybody's talking defense. Here's a strategy that works long after the final whistle. If your family is complete, a no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy is a safe, effective move. If you're done building your team, it may be time to strengthen your defense. Dr. Alvarez can perform your procedure in Soldotna or Homer. It's quick, comfortable, and a whole lot easier than chasing toddlers into extra time. Don't leave your future up to a lucky bounce. Call Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics 907-235-1010 and schedule your no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy. Gotcha. Score some peace of mind and enjoy the games.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Time now for the other half of the Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups. Dylan Simmons with the Oilers lineup.
Brooks Hassenclaver will lead off tonight. He is at first base for the Oilers. First time he's been at first base in a few games, so we'll see how he handles the right side of the infield. Mark Nellis is back at center field tonight, the two-hole hitter for the Oilers, looking for another big night tonight. Nolan Graw is the third baseman for the Oilers for the first time this season. Of course, he has played shortstop numerous times. We'll see how he handles the hot corner. Jack Kolobowski will be the DH tonight, all the way up in the 4 spot for Peninsula. Of course, with his red-hot hitting, you can understand why. Shane Cannon takes back over at shortstop, of which he's been many times this season. Isaac Fernandez is the catcher in the 6 hole. Wyatt Bundy is in left field tonight for the Oilers. Luke Skinner is the second baseman in the 8 hole. Brady Brown takes over in right field at the 9 spot. And, of course, Cody Smathers on the mound for Peninsula.
The Oilers getting ready to send the top third of the lineup to bat here in the top of the first inning. On the mound for the Chinooks, it's Colin Tate wearing the number 27. He comes in with an 0-1 record on the season, a 3.6 ERA. He has 1 start in 4 appearances, 10 innings pitched. He's allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned so far this season. But here's a good stat if you're a Colin Tate listener. He has just 2 walks to 10 strikeouts. So in limited appearances, the strikeout to walk ratio is exactly what you want if you're a head coach.
It absolutely is, and that sort of dynamic between walks and strikeouts, that's pretty darn solid. You want that consistency from your pitcher, especially against the loaded lineup. We'll see how he holds up tonight.
Yeah, 5-to-1 ratio is exactly what starting pitchers like to have. Colin Tate on the mound, a right-handed thrower leading it off for the Oilers. It's going to be the guy with 4 home runs this season, leading the league. Brooks Hassenclaver will dig into the right-handed batter's box. Hassenclaver and the Oilers wearing the red uniforms, the red tops tonight with the white pants. First pitch to Hassenclaver is downstairs for ball 1. Behind the plate, we have Carson Jacobs, the umpire. Oh, excuse me. We're the other way around. I'm giving you the Oilers, and it's not. It's Reese Vassar for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Takes the ball downstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Thank you for the correction there.
All good, all good.
I would have just kept on going. There's the line drive. It's dropping into left field, and it's going to be right in front of Wyatt Bundy. and gets down for a leadoff single against Cody Smathers.
Yeah, great drive by Reese Vassar. We've seen him have success against the Oilers in this series. Wyatt Bundy almost able to make a play on it. He needed to be there maybe a half step earlier to get that one, just unable to, and that's a pretty good start for Vassar and the Chinooks.
So the leadoff man is aboard for Chugiak, and that'll bring up Kai Butler. 361 hitter. That's good for number 2 in the ABL. 22 hits and 10 RBIs. First pitch to him is a tad bit high and maybe off the inside of the plate for ball 1. So rough start for Smathers. 4 pitches, 1 for a hit and 3 for outside the zone. Smathers, the right-hander, will take a long look in. Now he's set about chest high and delivers, missing way off the plate, and the count is quickly 2-0.
Butler last night had 1 hit and 1 RBI for the Chinooks, as well as 1 run. Of course, he had that 6-hit performance earlier in this series back in the first game.
Count is 2 balls, no strikes on Kai Butler, the center fielder for the Chinooks, with a runner on first base and no outs in the top of the first. Runner does not go. A fastball, late strike call. I appreciate that because that one did look pretty good.
Yeah, looked pretty solid from our vantage point, just catching the inside corner of the plate. That fastball is where Smathers is most comfortable. We'll see if he can keep it up.
Smathers will set and deliver here in just a moment. 2-1 pitch on the way. That's popped high into right field, tailing toward the foul line, but it's going to be playable for Brady Brown as he gets underneath it and records the first down of the inning.
Yeah, pretty routine fly out there, but again, good contact made by the Chinooks. However, that's a good break for Smathers, and maybe that'll result in Vassar's hit being more of a fluke than anything else.
Phoenix West will dig in. The left fielder batting .327. Hits from the left-hand side, so we get our first righty-lefty matchup of the evening. Smathers trying to work his way around that leadoff single to Reese Vassar. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner to West. Setting the defense for the Oilers, Wyatt Bundy in left field, Mark Nellis in center field, Brady Brown in right field. Around the diamond, third to first, we've got Nolan Graw, Shane Cannon, Luke Skinner, Brooks Hassenclaver at first, Cody Smathers on the mound, Isaac Fernandez behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch misses off the plate for ball 1 to West.
Vassar wanted to take off right there. He took about 2 steps and then quickly almost tripped over himself trying to get back to first base, kind of second-guessed his decision as he almost looked to steal.
So the count now 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away in the top of the first inning and a runner on first. Here's the pitch. That's a chopper toward the second base side. It's going to be fielded, taking a weird bounce, but Luke Skinner able to get the ball over to first in time to retire Phoenix West, and there's 2 away for Cal Whip.
That was a bit of a tense moment if you're an Oilers fan, because that ball took a pretty good while to get over to Luke Skinner, and he had a little bit of trouble picking it up, but still was able to get it over to Hassenclaver for the out, but maybe a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, it definitely was not ideal, and it kind of hit that lip of the infield grass and right on the back side of the downslope of that lip and skipped a little bit off to the right. So a good play by Skinner. Here's Cal Whip, right-handed hitter. Takes a ball downstairs. Whip batting .295. 13 hits on the season, and the Chinooks have a man in scoring position after Vassar advanced to second base on the ground out by West. Smathers, give him a look in here on the righty matchup. Now he checks second and comes home with the pitch. There's a flare foul off to the right side, and that's going to make its way toward the Oilers dugout, and the count is a ball and a strike.
With knocking on the door of having a top 5 batting average in the Alaska Baseball League, Chinooks have 2 hitters in the top 5 right now, Kai Butler and Phoenix West.
Team leading the league in doubles, the Chinooks are. Oilers pretty much own every other offensive category. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled straight back and out of play. And the count is quickly, 1-2 on Cal Whip. Trying to extend his hit total from 13. The Chinooks wearing the red tops with the white pants. Excuse the earlier flub on my part. Oilers wearing the black tops with the white pants.
The colors of the teams are so similar, you would you'd be forgiven for being mistaken, I think.
Yeah, it's their fault. Here's the 1-2, missing downstairs with a slider is Cody Smathers, and the count evens up at 2-2
When I went on the road with the Oilers, there was a uniform matchup where both teams were wearing the red uniforms, and that was a nightmare at some points, trying to figure out who was who.
Somebody did not coordinate wardrobes before they headed out for the evening.
Yes.
2-2, 2 outs, runner on second, and there's a pop-up into shallow right field. Drifting back is Luke Skinner, and he'll make the catch. And the Oilers able to retire the side and send the Chinooks back to the dugout. No score, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 man left on base for the Chinooks in the top of the first. We go to the the bottom of the first right here on ESPN Radio.
The World Cup's coming and everybody's talking defense. Here's a strategy that works long after the final whistle. If your family is complete, a no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy is a safe, effective move. If you're done building your team, it may be time to strengthen your defense. Dr. Alvarez can perform your procedure in Soldotna or Homer. It's quick, comfortable, and a whole lot easier than chasing toddlers into extra time. Don't leave your future up to a lucky bounce. Call Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics 907-235-1010 and schedule your no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy. Score some peace of mind and enjoy the games.
When you've been involved in a car accident, getting healthy is the most important thing. Having an advocate that can go out and get a full and fair recovery for you should not be something that you have to worry about. When people have been injured and suffered catastrophic injury or huge medical bills, other insurance companies can come and try to reduce your recovery. It's imperative to have someone that knows how to fight with these insurance adjusters look out for your interests. At Earhart, Elsner, and Cooley, we want to add value to your case to ensure a maximal, fair recovery.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons with you for this fourth game of a 5-game set between the Oilers and the Chinooks. In the top of the first inning, the Chinooks put the leadoff man aboard, Reese Vassar, singles, but then it was 1-2-3, Kai Butler, Phoenix West, and Cal Whip. Fly out, ground out, pop out, and that's what you want from Smathers.
That's exactly what you want from Smathers, and a great recovery after that opening hit to Vassar. Shows his composure on the mound and his ability to get outs quickly for the Oilers. That is what they'll be looking for all night tonight against Chugiak.
And now, because you already got it in the top of the first, we'll go ahead and give it to you again for the correct man on the mound, Colin Ott, out there for the Chinooks. Again, that 0-1 record with a 3.6 ERA. His second start of the season tonight. In 4 appearances, he has those 10 innings of work, 4 runs all earned, 8 hits, and that 5-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Leading it off for the Oilers is Brooks Hossenclaver with the league-leading 4 home runs. There isn't another ABL player within 2 home runs of him.
Yes, he's been unbelievable, especially at home this season. All 4 of his homers have been here at Coral Seymour, and it does feel like it could be home run weather. We'll see if he can get number 5.
First pitch from Ott is upstairs for ball 1 on Hossenclaver. 17 hits for Brooks. That's good enough for second in the league. He and Owen Musel, both with 17 hits, so tied for that number 2 spot. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Waved at and missed. Got him fooled with a breaking ball, so the count evens up. A ball and a strike on Hossenclaver.
And as we said in the pregame, 32 walks forced this season. We were talking about it with him last night, and I think we'd have to go back to the ABL archives to figure out the last time a player had this many walks this soon into the season.
He's pacing for over 50. There's a 1-1 pitch that misses outside, and the count 2 balls and a strike on Brooks. 3.22 average for our guy Hawkeye. 19 hits, 17 RBIs, and those 4 bombs. Here's the 2-1. That's a pop-up. Drifting into foul territory. Should be playable for the third baseman, Drew Hurst, and he's there to make the catch. And Hossenclaver sent down quietly.
It's not often you get that easy of an out on Brooks Hossenclaver. That's one that Colin Ott is very excited about, I'm sure. But, like we've mentioned, this is a very loaded Oilers top of the lineup tonight, and it continues with Mark Nellis.
Due up now is Mark Nellis, the center fielder. 286 average, bats from the right-hand side. Oilers going with the short sleeves. A couple nights ago, they had the long sleeves. He looks at a called strike right over the plate. Quickly 0-1 on Nellis.
Ott hails from Columbia International University, had 5 2/3 with 8 strikeouts in a season-high appearance for them this past year.
There's a blooper, rather a shallow fly ball. It's going to drop into no man's land between right and center field. for a one-out base hit for Mark Nellis.
Yeah, nice little small single in a way. It was kind of a fly ball, kind of a bloop shot looking thing, and Butler and Hess in between center and right field, just no chance to catch up to it. That's a great first hit for the Oilers, and a great response by Nellis after the Hasenclaver are out.
Nellis, the Connors State College, this year will be a junior, now on first base, and here is Jack Holubowski. .313 average, takes strike one. Nolan Gra looked ahead in the lineup. Nolan Gra, 10 hits, 2 RBIs, and 1 home run so far this season. The 0-1 pitch is a ground ball to the left side, played on the backhand, and that's going to sneak past the second baseman, Tate Green. Advancing to second on the error is Gra, and down to third goes Mark Nellis, and the Oilers threatening quickly in the bottom of the first, 2 men in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's a situation where I think Reese Vassar probably would have been better off just to hold on to that baseball. I understand you're trying to make a play at second base, but you're going off balance off your back foot in shallow left field. Very hard to make that throw. Great, well-placed single by Gra there, and then able to advance to second on the air.
So Nolan Gra now at second base. And that'll bring up Jack Holubowski, and this has got to be a spot that he likes to be in. 1 home run already on the season, just 6 RBIs, though. So looking to add on to that total. He could do it very quickly with the swing of the bat here. Looks at strike one downstairs. Ball one downstairs. Can't get a strike downstairs.
Cannot do that.
Colin Ott on the mound in a jam for the Chinooks. In the bottom of the first inning, Oilers threatening with 2 in scoring position. Just 1 out. Holubowski at the plate. And the 0-1 is fouled back to the screen, and the count evens up, a ball and a strike.
Jack Holubowski's been on such a torrid pace so far in these last few games and has been rewarded with a great spot in the lineup. .313 average, 7 extra base hits on the season, including that first home run of the year a couple games ago.
Ott will set chest high, and the right-hander fires a breaking ball that just clips the bottom part of the strike zone. 4 called strikes, so Holubowski in a 1-2 hole.
Those are the kinds of pitches that Ott's going to need to deliver against the Oilers. Got to get a little bit more creative, especially with what these guys have been able to do so far.
Trying to bring in the runners from second and first. Nellis at third, Gra at first. There's a rope hit toward left field, but it's going to go foul into the Chinooks bullpen. Count still 1 ball, 2 strikes on the big Holubowski.
Yeah, just needed that one to be a little bit closer to left field that time, but put a good charge into it. Let's see if he can center it up on this attempt.
Like to see him go deep here again. The other night he just laced one toward left field. Nubs one weakly off to the right side. Just got the barest piece of it to stay alive in this at-bat. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the first inning. No score between the Oilers and the Chinooks on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Oilers, though, with 2 men in scoring position and just 1 out. And we get the home plate umpire, Carson Jacobs. Takes a little walkabout around home plate. And now it looks like we're going to finally return. Bit of a delay there as we had a long pause in between the last 2 pitches. Colin Ott looking, finally gets a sign he wants. The 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, and Holubowski swings through it, and he goes down swinging for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, again, an aggressive fastball from Ott. This time he gets it to work, and Holubowski, usually so stout at the plate, just misplayed that a little bit on the swing. That's a fortunate out for the Chinooks. We'll see what they can do against Shane Cannon.
Cannon, a .216 hitter, has 8 RBIs. So familiar with men in scoring position ahead of him. No home runs for him, but he does have 11 hits for the shortstop tonight in the Oilers' defensive lineup. Grounds one to the left side, underneath the glove of a diving Drew Hurst. In comes Nellis to score. Nolan Gra will hold up at third base, and Shane Cannon puts the Oilers on top in the bottom of the first.
Yes, he absolutely does, and what a shot that was by Shane Cannon right through the left side. Drew Hurst did what he could to try to grab it. Reese Vassar as well. Neither one of them able to get to it in time. time. Velocity off the bat is huge on a ground ball, and Cannon got all of that one to get the Oilers on the scoreboard.
Great piece of hitting. Now it's Isaac Fernandez, the catcher for the Oilers, batting .270. 10 hits and just 1 RBI for him. With 2 outs, the Oilers have runners on the corners. Colin Ott unable to escape the jam after allowing 2 Oilers to reach second and third with just 1 out. First pitch to Isaac Fernandez, misses off the plate for ball 1.
Very familiar start for the Oilers here in this bottom half of the first inning. This entire series, it feels like they've gotten off to quick starts against the Chinooks. That's been, I think, a big key to their success so far.
Runner stays at first, and the pitch is fouled back and out of play. And the count on Fernandez, a ball and a strike.
And it's a bit of a change-up from what they've had before this season. In past games, they would get off to somewhat slower starts and not be able to keep up with the other team early and then kind of come aboard late to get the victories, but it's been a bit of a change dynamic in this series.
Ott delivering the 1-1, cut on and missed. Fernandez may have just gotten a piece of it. Either way, the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Setting the defense for the Chinooks, Phoenix West in left field, Kai Butler in center field, Samuel Hess, the right fielder. Around the diamond, third to first, Drew Hurst, Reese Vassar, Tate Green, and Carter Reed. Colin Ott on the mound, and J.J. Pruneau getting the start as catcher behind the plate. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Colin Ott. The Oilers, though, scraped together 1 run on 3 hits. There was 1 error in the inning, and they leave 2 men on base. They lead 1-0 after an inning of play. We go to the top of the second right here on ESPN Radio.
Hello, I'm Marty Hansen, owner and manager of Eyewear Express. Let's talk about your money. Let's talk about getting up at 0 dark 30 to make a buck. Whether you're working in the hospital, one of our schools, or in the rain and snow, or you spend weeks away from your family, Eyewear Express knows the value of your money, and we promise the glasses we sell you mean as much to us as your money does to you. Eyewear Express will build you eyewear that are worth the money you use to pay for them. Expect the best from Eyewear Express, located in the Peninsula Center Mall, Soldotna.
Hi, this is Justin Ruffridge. There's nothing like a small town. It's real community. And that's one of the reasons I'm raising my family here. It's also why I own and operate Soldotna Professional Pharmacy, because I believe a small town pharmacy is where people get the best care. Our customers aren't just customers, you're our friends and neighbors. Stop by at 299 North Binkley in Soldotna for hometown friendly service. I'm Justin Ruffridge, and I'm here to serve you.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons with you for this Game 4 between the Oilers and the Chinooks. Oilers grab a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning on an RBI single by Shane Cannon. That is his 9th of the season. And for a guy who came in batting .216, that's what you love to see.
That's exactly what you love to see. And again, Shane has been on a bit of a dry spell as of late by his standards, but he's been picking it up a little bit over these last couple of games, and that's a great example of that on that RBI single. If Shane Cannon can produce at that rate, this top of the lineup just got even better here in this one.
And Colin Tate, for his part on the mound for the Chinooks, consistent with his stat line. He had 2 strikeouts in the inning, did not walk anybody, but did give up 3 hits and 1 unearned run. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Chinooks. Drew Hurst to lead off the inning. The third baseman, a 179 hitter with 7 hits. But listen to this, 7 hits, 14 RBIs.
Yes.
That's an interesting slash. First pitch from Smathers is a called strike.
I think it just goes to show that he's been in a lot of positions where even a ground out or a sacrifice fly gets you an RBI, so give credit to him for being opportunistic and getting those runs batted in.
A 1 pitch, check swing, and he did not offer, and the home plate umpire Carson Jacobs says that was ball 1. Change at a couple defensive positions, as we've seen from other nights. Nolan Graw, who has been at shortstop the last couple nights, over to third. Shane Cannon moves from second to shortstop. Smathers, the 1-1 pitch to Hurst, misses high and away. 2 balls and a strike. And Dylan, I think that might be perhaps maybe just easing Graw back into things after he had a pair of errors last night and one the night before. 2-1 pitch is a called strike. Hurst has yet to swing at a pitch after 4 from Smathers.
Yeah, give him credit. He's been very patient at the plate, and it's got him to a 1-2 count. So we'll see here if he can possibly make contact against Smathers.
J.J. Pruneau is on deck. 2-2 rather, downstairs, and now a full count for Hurst. So as you said, there he goes, working the count full.
Junior out of Messiah University in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Made the All-MAC Commonwealth team last year. Great player from Messiah this year as well.
3-2 the count on the leadoff hitter, Drew Hurst, in the top of the second inning. And he works a walk on a full count. First of the night for Smathers. Pitch missing downstairs, and the leadoff man for the second straight inning is aboard for the Chinooks.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that patience can sometimes be a virtue in the game of baseball. First, kind of taking the Brooks Hassenclaver approach of staying patient at the plate, watching where the ball's going to go. Didn't even have to swing at a single pitch in that count, and still found his way to first.
Here's the catcher, J.J. Pruneau, a 132 hitter. Came in as a pinch hitter last night and was 0 for 1, or rather 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a strikeout. First pitch to him is a fastball low and away, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Pruneau is a 132 hitter, 5 hits, 4 RBIs this season. Smathers once again having to deal with the leadoff man on first base here in the top of the second. Comes home and again down and away. Back pick downstairs, and that is close.
Ooh.
Very close, as Drew Hurst thought he was going to steal, and I think he changed his mind.
Yes.
As he got a very late jump, but he was way off the bag, and Isaac Fernandez tried to backpick him. The throw is right there, but safe, said field umpire Casey Moser. 2 balls, no strikes to Pruneau. And now a fastball on the outside edge for a called strike.
I think the only thing that saved Hurst right there is that Hassenclaver bobbled the ball a little bit as it came into his glove. I think the umpire saw that, was able to reward it as him getting back to base instead of being out.
2 ball, 1 strike count to Pruneau, and the fastball comes in high and tight. So now a hitter's count for the Chinooks catcher. And boy, Smathers having a little bit of a hard time dialing in the location through the first pair of innings here. Yes, but hasn't really been punished for it yet.
Right, hasn't been punished for it yet. Again, if you can correct it as time goes on, it's not as much of an issue, but definitely has at least a little bit of jitters early.
And there he comes right back with I think it was a fastball or maybe a breaking pitch. Took a little speed off of it for sure. Right down Main Street for a called strike, and the count is full, 3-2 on J.J. Pruneau. Pruneau, the 6 hitter, Carter Reed due up next. 3-2 pitch, lined into left center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Picked up there by Wyatt Bundy. And the first 2 men for the Chinooks reaching here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, another great drive, this time by Pruneau into the gap in left center field. Saw Vassar deliver in a similar situation earlier. That's about as well hit as you could hope for Pruneau. That's what the Chinooks are going to be searching for tonight, is better hitting into the gap. And so far they've gotten it, at least in some respects, from Vassar and Pruneau.
A no-out jam for Smathers as Carter Reed, the first baseman for the Chinooks, will dig in. The 194 hitter bats from the right-hand side. Righty-righty matchup here, Smathers, and he shows bunt, pulls back, and that must have just missed off the inside. It was belt high, but it's ball 1 to Reed.
Very close. Reed just barely, it looked like, pulled it back in the nick of time, and that's one where you could very easily see it as a strike, but just missed for Smathers.
1 ball, no strike count. At the plate, Carter Reed likely will show bunt here again. This time he pulls back, and this pitch misses off the plate the other side. So 2 balls, no strikes. And the location issues here in the second for Smathers continue. Leading second in the league in strikeouts with 25 this season. Has yet to pick up 1 through an inning plus. Going to have to find his way back from a 2-0 count here. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss.
That was needed for Smathers that time. Delivered it toward the outside corner. Went back to that quick fastball. Got Reed to chase after it. Now let's see if that settles him in a little bit here and he can start ringing in those strikes.
Shane Cannon at double play depth behind second base. Count is 2 balls and a strike on Carter Reed. Smathers comes home, pitches off the plate as Reed was once again showing bunt, and now he's in a 3-1 count. You have the third baseman, Nolan Gra, who is level with the bag, and he'll probably creep in on the grass. Maybe not. You want to make sure you're available to get the runner from second base heading to third, but a bunt your way, which is no doubt what Reed's going to be trying for. Here's the 3-1. Inside, ball 4. And that will load the bases with no outs in the top of the second inning. Second walk of the inning for Smathers. Hurst goes down to third. J.J. Pruneau with the single after the leadoff walk to Hurst. And now another walk to Carter Reed. And here comes the pitching coach to have a visit with Smathers.
Yeah, Kadam Thorpe will come out and talk to Cody Smathers about what's going on right now. Just struggling to find the zone consistently. That fastball, not quite as consistent as we usually see it. Can still be corrected, but obviously some work to be done.
Samuel Hess will be the batter due up for the Chinooks. The bright side here, if you're Smathers, is that you are dealing with the bottom third of the order at this point. However, Hess is batting .250, but that is in very, very limited plate appearances, as he has not seen too much time in the starting lineup. Hess just 16 plate appearances this season.
Out of Nelson University in Buckeye, Arizona, not to be confused with Ohio's Buckeyes. Had a .317 average this past season for Nelson with 32 RBIs and 65 hits, so a very solid hitter, all things considered.
Does not show bunt, was going to swing away. Thought maybe the squeeze play might be on, and the pitch misses inside. 2 walks in the inning and a single against Cody Smathers. And the right-hander will work quickly, winds and fires and misses down and away, ball 2.
Trying to target that inside corner and make it a little bit low. It's almost like he's trying to pitch away from Smith in some capacity. Just not working for him right now. Got to adjust that.
Chinooks with a big threat here. Bases loaded, no outs, top of the second inning. Foul ball back underneath the catcher and twisting off to the left side. The count is 2 balls and a strike on Samuel Hess.
Biggest thing as a pitcher, and this kind of goes without saying, and I'm not saying this is the situation that Smathers is in, but you can't be afraid of the other guy making contact. You got to be able to go strength on strength here, and for Smathers, that certainly rings true with what he can do.
2-1 strike pitch. Breaking pitch is high, and it's 3-1. Nowhere to put Samuel Hess, the right fielder. Does not have an RBI thus far this season. Again, just 16 plate appearances for Hess, but could pick up one an easy way here. Base hit might bring in 2. Should bring in 2, rather. 3-1 pitch, and that goes in high and gets him on the left shoulder. And the control issues continue for Cody Smathers. Run comes in to score on the RBI HBP. Do you get an RBI for hit by pitch?
You do, yes.
Yeah, you do. I always second guess myself on stuff like that. 3 free passes in the inning issued by Cody Smathers. Down to third goes J.J. Pruneau as Drew Hurst comes in to score. Carter Reed to second. Samuel Hess to first. And here's Tate Green, the second baseman. Bases remain loaded. Score now tied. 1-1 for the Oilers and the Chinooks. Top of the second inning. Smathers' first pitch to Green. High, ball 1.
Right now, the location of these pitches is going from low to high, back to low. Got to try to flatten that out if you can. You want to get it toward the center part of the plate with a consistent direction.
1-0 at the knees for a called strike.
That is more of what you're looking for right there. Consistent fastball, remain right in the zone the whole time, able to get the strike. Now you just got to start putting it together and stacking those strikes on top of each other.
Still no outs, score tied 1-1. Bases loaded for Tate Green, and he fouls the 1-1 pitch backing out of play, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
And conversely for Chugiak, this is one of your best points in the game to take advantage of an opportunity and not only get the lead, but maybe extend it out, because you don't know when you're going to get bases loaded again in this contest, so you want to take full advantage of that.
1-2, right down the middle for called strike 3. Tate Green frozen on the 4-seam, and that's strikeout number 1 for Cody Smathers, and it's a big one.
That's a huge one, and that's more of what we're used to seeing from Cody Smathers. Gets this one toward the outside part of the plate, caught the corner against Green, and caught him looking. Now let's see if Smathers can deal with that when he faces the top of the order.
Double play would end the inning. Reese Vassar, who singled in his first plate appearance, steps in, was stranded on second base. Right-handed hitter, righty-righty matchup. First pitch is fisted foul and off to the right side, and the count is quickly 0-1.
Have to imagine that Vassar will be aggressive here considering his last single against Cody Smathers. We know he's certainly capable of getting guys home, and of course that's something as well that Smathers will have to watch out for.
0-1. This one fouled again, high and off to the right side. And this is the first time Smathers has put a Chinooks hitter behind in the count 0-2. He had Cal Whip in a 1-2 count in the top of the first, and he's trying to limit the damage to just one run in after the Chinooks load him up with no outs in the top of the second. Now there's one away, 0-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen, and Vassar lives to see another one.
Yeah, making a lot of contact with these pitches from Smathers. He is not going to be an easy guy to get down, so you just have to try to stick with it and win this chess match if you're Smathers. Try to place the ball where Vassar won't be going.
0-2 count, bases loaded, one out in the top of the second. There's a line drive, it's sinking, and it's going to drop in front of the right fielder, Brady Brown. One run comes in to score, and everybody else goes station to station. And Reese Vassar is now 2 for 2, and this time he picks up an RBI. Score 2-1, Chinooks on top.
Yes, he does. Little loop shot to right field. Not much that Brady Brown or anyone else could do about it. Vassar just hitting very effectively against Smathers early in this game. And just like that, Chugiak on top 2-1, taking full advantage so far here in the top of the second.
And with the bases loaded, this is not the guy you want to see. Kai Butler, 0 for 1 today, flew out to right field in his first at-bat. But a .361 average on the season. First pitch to him. Smathers reached back and gave it a little extra, but misses low and away for ball one. Butler, 22 hits this season, but just 10 RBIs as he's batted toward the upper part of the lineup and has not had perhaps a lot of base runners ahead of him. 1-0 pitch, cut on and missed for strike one.
Out of Cal State Los Angeles in Clovis, California. For Kai Butler, 6'1", 180. Great player in high school and a very competitive California high school circuit. That's where he learned his craft of baseball and why he's been so effective in the ABL this year.
1-1 pitch. Just a little bit low for ball two. So the first pitch in this at-bat was low and away, and it was a fastball with a lot of zip on it. And with the 1-0 pitch, Smathers came back with a changeup that was pretty much middle, but had Butler way out in front of it. Here's the 2-1. That's a changeup again, but it was high, and Butler wants that one back as he fouled it back to the screen, and the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you'd have to think that he does, because that's a pitch that would have easily gone for ball number 2, and instead, or ball number 3, I should say. Instead, Butler goes after it, and now you've got a completely different dynamic because it goes from a 3-1 to a 2-2. Much different mindset here from Butler.
Bases still loaded in the top of the second, just one away. Kai Butler at the plate, and he looks at another fastball, and that one misses high. Almost the exact same pitch that he chased in the previous as the previous one.
Yeah, he served or learned from his mistakes in that situation. Smathers is going to have to pitch to him right here, at least try to get him out with a fastball, I'd imagine. We'll see.
Butler, a very closed stance, left foot far forward in the box, and a fastball misses low and away, and that's the third walk of the inning issued by Smathers, and in comes Carter Reed to score the third run of the second. Well, the Chinooks now lead 3-1 on the RBI walk by Kai Butler.
Yeah, it's just gut-wrenching to see this if you're an Oilers fan because, again, these are things that you're doing to yourself right here in this situation. And Smathers has not been in this position too often this season. Just cannot, for whatever reason, seem to fire in the strikes he needs.
Here's Phoenix West, and the first pitch to him, a fastball upstairs for ball one.
You just got to find a way to lower that fastball. Way too many pitches going high right now for Smathers, so you got to find a way to get that lower and fast.
West has 5 doubles on the season. Bases loaded for him, and he rips one foul off to the right side for strike one. Smathers started the inning off with a walk to Drew Hurst. Then it was a single to J.J. Pruneau, a walk to Carter Reed. That loaded up the bases. Samuel Hess was hit by a pitch to bring in the first run. Then a strikeout looking to the number 9 hitter, Tate Green. Then a single by Reese Vassar and a walk to Kai Butler. The 1-1 pitch off the plate for ball 2. And the location struggles continue for Cody Smathers. And we'll see what kind of a leash Coach Dawson has for his starting pitcher. 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. Breaking ball that doesn't break too much, and it's 3-1 on Phoenix West. You have to think if West gets a walk here that you're going to see another mound visit, and we might even see a reliever coming in.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that you got a short leash at this point in time because you just can't keep allowing this to happen, and you can't fall behind too much in this point in the game.
3-1. Outside, ball 4. 4 walks in the inning for Cody Smathers. Samuel Hess will come in to score.
And here comes Dave Dawson.
Yep, and this may be it for Cody Smathers, who has fought his way through an inning and 1/3. And we'll see if Coach Dawson's going to leave him in there. Opted to leave in his starter last night after Luke Dixon had a struggle in the 4th inning, and nope, he takes the ball away. So Cody Smathers' night is done. He gives up 4 runs on just 3 hits in an inning and a third. We'll see who's coming in to relieve when we come back right here on ESPN Radio.
Looking for fun for the whole family that they will love? Head over to Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road, the Peninsula's entertainment center for all ages. Play in the arcade, dive into the active VR game room, glow it up with blacklight mini golf, bounce on inflatable fun, and grab a snack at the snack bar. Birthdays, work parties, and so much more. You can book them now at Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road. Jumpin' Junction, where there's fun for the whole family.
I was told if you can sing it, you can remember. So I want to try this. First, if you ever need a tow truck for any reason, I want you to remember Genwar Towing 394-6068. Maybe you're on a date and you slide in the ditch. Call Genwar Towing 394-6068.
You really shouldn't sing.
Maybe I need more reverb. Genwar Towing.
Not so much.
Genwar Towing, 394-6068.
New pitcher on the mound for the Oilers is Nate Ramirez. Second night he's come in relief in a row. Last night he came in to relieve Evan Sonares in the 8th inning. Sonares got himself in a bit of a jam and allowed a run to come in. Ramirez, with 1 away in the inning, came in and got back-to-back outs. One of them via the swinging strikeout. Do you happen to have his line pulled up here?
I do have his line pulled up, and it's been pretty solid for him overall out of the bullpen this season. Don't have his exact stats, but I do have his stats from last night. Like you said, came in for an inning with a couple of strikeouts, looked pretty strong in the 8th inning. Usually Ramirez is used in short bursts for about an inning or 2 innings. A good pitcher that can go between usually the starter and the next guy in the bullpen. So they'll be looking for Ramirez to go at least 1 or 2 innings right here, and especially to get out of this jam in the top of the 2nd.
The Chinooks lead the Oilers 4-1. All 4 runs coming in here in the top of the 2nd inning. 4 walks issued by the starting pitcher, Cody Smathers, who had some uncharacteristic control issues this evening. He'll sort that out, I'm sure, before he starts his next game. Cal Whip comes up with the bases loaded, the 9th batter of the inning for the Chinooks. Whip 0 for 1 tonight, popped out to second base in his first at-bat. Ramirez, the right-handed pitcher, inherits those bases loaded. Kicks and delivers for called strike. Whip looks at that one right at the knees.
Ramirez officially with 11 strikeouts on the season, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 8 earned runs given up, 8.31 is his ERA.
So the ERA is high, but we saw better than that ERA would suggest last night.
Right.
In 1 inning's worth of work. There's a curveball that doesn't bite, and it's a ball and a strike to Whip.
And Nate has improved his game a lot as this season has gone on. I think he's one of the most improved pitchers out of the bullpen, so I think you feel pretty comfortable at this point in time bringing him out, even after the inning that he went last night.
Bases loaded, a 4-1 lead for the Chinooks. 1-1 pitch is driven toward left field. Might be deep enough to score the runner from third. Coming in and making the catch is Wyatt Bundy, and he will throw it in, and the runner will hold. That is Reese Vassar over at third base, and that was a big out.
That was an absolutely huge out, and good work by Wyatt Bundy to field that baseball because he was kind of backpedaling and lost, I think he lost sight of the ball for a second as he was trying to make that catch. Came back to it on the left side of the field, got the out, and then threw it quickly to the infield to make sure that Vassar didn't score.
So good on Ramirez to retire the .295 hitting Cal Whip. And that'll bring up Drew Hurst for the second time this inning as the Chinooks bat around. They've only picked up 2 hits, though, 5 free passes. First pitch to Hurst is a called strike.
There's that off-speed pitch from Ramirez that we see pretty often. Uses a lot of off-speed and breaking ball action. One of the better bullpen pitchers on the team at doing exactly that, and it worked very well against Hurst that time.
Bases remain loaded for the Chinooks. Top of the second inning, they lead 4-1 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. 2 away, and the 0-1 pitch is outside for ball 1 to Drew Hurst. Hurst again walked to lead off this inning on a full count pitch. There were 3 full count walks issued by Smathers, unable to close the door with 2 strikes on several different hitters. Reese Vassar had an 0-2 count and singled to drive in the second run of the game. There's a fastball missing away from Ramirez, and the count 2 balls and a strike on Hurst. That run, or rather, all 3 men on base belong to Smathers, so we can't quite close the book on him yet. An inning and a third pitch, 3 hits, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. Right now responsible for 4 runs, all earned. Nate Ramirez trying to pick him up, though. Gets a pop-out, or rather a pop-up, backing out of play by Hurst in the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and right now we know that Chugiak is trying to be very opportunistic with the bases juiced. Up 3 runs, but you can blow it open here in the bottom or top of the second. If you can add a couple more, Ramirez understanding that as well, trying anything he can to get that final out.
Ramirez last night, 1 strikeout in 2 batters that he faced in the 8th inning. And called strike 3 on a breaking ball outside part of the plate, and that will retire the side. The Chinooks, though, get 4 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors in the inning, and they leave the bases loaded. They lead 4-1 as we go to the bottom half of the second right here on ESPN Radio.
Who would you call if your vehicle broke down? If you just had an accident or just spun off into the ditch? You might be able to think right now, but in the moment, it might be hard. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to add this name and number to your phone in case of emergency. Okay, are you ready? It's Genwar. That's Jenwar, Towing and Recovery, 394-6068. That number again is 394-6068. Available 24 hours a day, Genwar Towing and Recovery. Make sure it's in your phone.
Bear Bucks is making savings easier than ever with new promotions that give you discounts no matter how much you spend. Enter your phone number at checkout to unlock active deals and rewards every time you shop. Not a member? No problem. Just scan the QR code in store and sign up in seconds. Start earning rewards at just $5 and get double rewards when you spend $50 or more. Don't miss out. Your rewards are tracked right on your receipt and easy to use in the app. Bear Bucks. More savings, more rewards every time you shop.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons. Colin Ott, the starting pitcher for the Chinooks, spotted a 3-run lead as the Chinooks drive in 3, mostly courtesy of free passes. They got 5 of those in the second inning. They lead 4-1 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Sun here in Kenai is trying to break the clouds apart. It's a full cloud coverage, but there's a spot that's breaking up just above that right field foul pole. And it will be the bottom third of the order due up for the Oilers. Wyatt Bundy, Luke Skinner, and Brady Brown. The right-handed pitching Colin Ott. First pitch to Wyatt Bundy misses downstairs. Bundy had a great defensive play to help bring that inning to an end in the top of the second, where he came charging in to make the catch and keep a runner at third base. There's a fastball for a called strike. Count is 1-1.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he has some tremendous athleticism, especially for a guy who, again, has not even started college yet, has a great instinct for the game of baseball, still learning but getting better each day.
Grounds the ball to the right side and into right field for a leadoff single. And for the second time today, the Oilers have a single and a base runner. Rather, the third time today, a single. Fourth time today. Man,
yes.
my number's not computing. And Wyatt Bundy, a great piece of hitting.
That was a great piece of hitting, and like I said, he's learning each and every game. That was a tremendous ground ball through the 4-3 hole, past Tate Green and Carter Reed, exactly where it needed to be, and now the Oilers have a little bit of a rally to start here in this bottom of the second.
Oilers get the start to the inning they wanted. Leadoff man is aboard. Luke Skinner, 5 hits, 6 RBIs this season. Bats from the left-hand side and twists away from a fastball that came in high and tight. Count as a ball and no strikes. Skinner, the second baseman tonight. Again, we mentioned those defensive changes from last night. Cannon was at second base last night. He's a shortstop this evening. Nolan Gra moved from short to third. Brooks Hassenclaver from third to first. Cut and missed on the 1-0 pitch from Ott by Skinner. Ball and a strike.
Oilers as a team batting .253 on the season, .395 on base percentage with the 8 home runs. The offense has been clicking in a huge way throughout this series, and that's why even down 3 runs, you don't feel as threatened as you may otherwise would here in this bottom of the second.
1-1 pitch is laid down for a nice bunt. Charging in, third baseman Drew Hurst will throw on the run just in time to get Skinner at first base as he was cooking down that first base line.
Oh, he absolutely was, and I'm honestly shocked they were able to get him with how fast he was charging in to first base. Still a great bunt by Luke Skinner right where it needed to be, and it advances Bundy over 2 seconds, so a runner in scoring position with just 1 out here in this frame.
It was a great play by Drew Hurst as he was on full sprint.
Yes. And I almost thought that Ott was going to take it for a second. He didn't. Allowed Hurst to take it on the run, and that probably saved that from Skinner being safe at first base.
Here's the number 9 hitter, Brady Brown, who pops the first pitch he sees high into center field, or left center field, rather. And right there to make the catch is Phoenix West, and there's quickly 2 outs. Wyatt Bundy stays at second base.
But this does get the Oilers back to the top of the order with Brooks Hassenclaver, so that shows you how big that hit was from Bundy a second ago. And Hassenclaver has been very good in these situations, one of the best timely hitters in the Alaska Baseball League. We'll see if he's got more right here.
Top of the order brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Protect yourself and your assets by putting Christy and her team at the top of your lineup. Hassenclaver 0 for 1, fouled out to the third baseman in his first at bat. The lefty swings at the first pitch he sees, does make contact, and he's behind in the count 0-1. Hassenclaver sitting on 19 hits, trying to push that to 20. If he does, more than likely would bring in Wyatt Bundy to score, who has speed at second base. 2 outs, Oilers trailing 4-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Runner on second base, and Hassenclaver chops one to the right side, fielded on the backhand by the first baseman Carter Reed, and he will toss to the pitcher Colin Ott covering first base to retire the side. Oilers leave 1 on, no runs, 1 hit, and they don't commit any. The Chinooks no errors, and it's still 4-1 after 2 innings. We go to the third inning right here on ESPN Radio.
Let's go fishing. Let's go see Alaska. Whatever your adventure is, Three Bears Alaska is here to help your adventure. They're a one-stop shop with easy to get in and out fuel pumps. Great for RVs, boats, campers, recreational trailers, work trailers, pretty much anything. And with locations in Cooper Landing, Sterling, Kenai, and Ninilchik, you're on your way. Three Bears also has groceries for your adventure, fishing and camping gear, a liquor store, ice and fishing licenses as well. For your next adventure, stop by Three Bears Alaska.
Everyone knows the struggle. The DMV keeps bankers' hours while they're stuck at work.
That's where AK Express rolls in to save the day. They handle the services people need, and that's why they want you. Open until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and Saturdays 11 to 3. AK Express makes busy schedules easier. Conveniently located at the corner of K Beach and West Poppy Lane. Everybody rides again. AK Express, where convenience is king.
Top of the third inning, Nate Ramirez back on the mound after coming in to relieve starting pitcher Cody Smathers for the Oilers. Final line on Smathers, 1 1/3 innings pitched. He allows 4 runs all earned on 3 hits. He walks 4, he strikes out 1, and he hits 1 batter. Ramirez going to try and save this thing.
Yeah, and he did a great job in that top half of the second of limiting the damage for the Oilers as we've got some smoke or something in the outfield there.
Yeah, it looks like a fair bit of smoke rising from just behind the outfield wall in right center field. Not sure what that is all about. Hopefully, with forest fires always a threat here in Alaska, maybe just a burn barrel or something.
It could be. It could be. It's in one isolated area, so hopefully that's what it is.
There's a drive on the first pitch to the number 6 hitter, J.J. Pruneau, but playable in shallow center field for Mark Nellis, and on one pitch, there's 1 out.
Pretty simple fly out there. Good way to start from Ramirez. They haven't been doing too well at making solid contact with his pitches so far, so that's a great sign. Ramirez, again, that's one of the things he's improved on. Gave up a lot of drives earlier in the season. We haven't seen nearly as many of those as of late.
That'll bring up Carter Reed. Took a walk in the second inning. Part of that rally came in to score. First pitch to him is a called strike on the outside corner.
Great breaking ball toward the outside corner that time by Ramirez. Again, one of his signature pitches. It's so hard to make contact with that style of pitch, and obviously Reed didn't.
0-1 the count. Nobody aboard and 1 out. In the top of the third inning, the Ramirez pitch missing outside. A ball and a strike now to Carter Reed. 194 hitter. Middle infielders on the shallow grass in left center and right center field. They creep in, and a foul ball back to the screen by Carter Reed. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, we got a moment. Want to remind everybody that tomorrow is Ladies' Night for the Peninsula Oilers at Coral Seymour Ballpark. Make sure you check it out. Door prizes will be available. You can split the post. It'll be at the Beer Garden. There's also an online jersey silent auction.
1-2 pitch. Fly ball. Center field. Drifting to his right. Nellis there for the catch, and quickly 2 away, as Nate Ramirez has retired 4 straight since coming in relief in the second inning.
And again, another fly ball, very easy for Mark Nellis to take care of. They're making contact, the Chinooks, but they're just not getting enough velocity on the baseball. When it has too much hang time like that, it is easy for these outfielders to make the catch, as Nellis just did.
No base runners in the top of the third. 2 outs, and here's Samuel Hess, who was hit by a pitch and credited with an RBI. First run of the game for the Chinooks, and he looks at ball 1.
Nick, I can smell that smoke coming from the outfield now, but it looks like it's dissipated somewhat, so hopefully that's the case.
1-0 pitch is a called strike. The breaking ball once again getting a Chinooks hitter to watch it go by, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Hess with the 1 RBI, 250 hitter. That was his first RBI of the season. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Boy, what a response so far by Nate Ramirez. Was given a very unenviable task in that top of the second, and he's responded every step of the way so far. Might have an opportunity here to quickly take care of Hess for a 1-2-3 inning.
1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Downstairs and outside, and it's now 2-2 on Hess.
Hess adapted well to the breaking ball that time. Didn't chase it, just missed outside. What does Ramirez serve up here on the 2-2?
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Pitch on the way. Ground ball right toward the second baseman, Skinner. Oh, and Skinner lets it eat him up. Sneaks through the 5-hole. And that was a gift if ever there was one. Hess reaching with 2 outs on an E4 fielding error.
Yeah, that's about as easy of an out as you could hope for, and Skinner just misplayed that one. I'm almost curious if the lip of the infield may have affected the trajectory of that ball a little bit, because he was fielding it pretty close to it. Either way, unable to cleanly get that thing, and that is, like I said, a gift here in July for Samuel Hess.
That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Tate Green, the lone strikeout victim for Cody Smathers. First pitch to him, he shows bunt perfectly up the third base line, and he's going to be safe on a bunt single. That was a beautiful bunt by Tate Green.
Oh, you couldn't ask for a better bunt. I mean, in the perfect spot, rolling along the third base line and deep enough to where he could use his speed to quickly advance to first base. Back-to-back great fortune plays for the Chinooks, and all of a sudden, what looked like a lost inning is quickly turning the other way.
Now back to the top of the lineup for the Chinooks. Reese Vassar, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. He has 1 RBI. So he drove in a run as part of that 4-run rally for the Chinooks in the top of the second inning. Nate Ramirez was on the verge, as you said, of a 1-2-3 inning, but the E4 followed up by a bunt single from Tate Green. Now the first pitch to Vassar. The curveball falls off the plate for ball 1.
Thing is, for Ramirez, you can't panic in this situation because both of those weren't really of your doing. So you just got to make sure to not let the circumstances overtake you. Keep up with your usual style of pitching and take care of business.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, and 2 men on for the Chinooks. In the top of the third inning, cut on and missed the 1-0 pitch from Ramirez, and the count evens up, a ball and a strike on Vassar.
And I think that pitch reinforces the confidence that folks should have in Ramirez right now. Went back to what was working and got Vassar to chase. It'd be huge to get him out here and strand these 2 runners, especially at the top of the order here.
Reese came in with just 6 hits this season. He's already got 2 more here tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Ramirez pretty much trying to hit the low outside corner with everything he's been throwing. Fastballs and curveballs, all of them aimed for that same spot. Might be a good time to change it up and come up high and tight and maybe get one of these Chinooks to swing at it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 men on, 2 outs, top of the third inning. Chinooks leading 4-1. Curveball, and that is high, but cannot get Reese Vassar to chase.
Did get the strike, though, and that brings it to a 2-2. Looks like Fernandez is going to have a quick conversation with Ramirez. Of course, you want to be careful here with the 2 runners on base. You know that Vassar is going to be inclined to be a little bit more aggressive in this situation.
I thought he called that a ball, so thanks for the pickup there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 men aboard for the Chinooks in the top of the third inning. Vassar had a single on a 2-0 count and a single on an 0-2 count, so he'll get it done from either side. Dangerous hitter here tonight. Long set for Ramirez. Checking the runner at second. Now he'll deliver home, and he misses away with a fastball, and it's a full count now to the top of the lineup hitter, Vassar, for the Chinooks. What looked like it was going to be a very quick and clean inning for Ramirez was extended by an error and then a bunt single, and now Vassar battling his way into a full count. Ramirez delivers the payoff pitch. Chopped foul off to the left side as Nolan Graw gave it a look. And it goes all the way down into foul territory. And we got a Chinook on his horse down there on that warning track to try and pick it up.
He was moving pretty fast to try to get that baseball. It rolled all the way toward the left field corner. Graw had a little bit of space left in between the third base line and that ball going into foul territory, so fortunate that it did indeed go foul.
Ran his hat off. Came flying off as he was sprinting down. Another payoff pitch. High ball 4. First walk from Ramirez, and for the second straight inning, the Chinooks load the bases.
It's almost been like the Oilers' strategy sometimes in these games. The Chinooks have been creating their own luck so far tonight, and obviously you can't plan an error, but that bunt from Tate Green proving absolutely huge here because all of a sudden you've got the bases loaded, and they're trying to do all this damage in a 2-out situation. So credit the Chinooks for not giving up on this inning, keeping themselves in position, but it makes it harder on Nate Ramirez and this Oilers defense.
Kai Butler, the big hitter in this lineup, looks at a fastball led her high on the outside corner for a called strike. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Then he walked in a run in the second inning. So 0 for 1 with an RBI. Now he's got the bases loaded. Second time he's come to the plate today with the bases loaded. Ramirez with the 0-1. High pop to the right side. Drifting toward foul territory. Diving! No! It was so close to a catch from Brady Brown. That would have ended the inning. As it is, it's just a loud strike. Man, I thought he was going to get to that one.
I thought he had a good shot at it. There was a brief moment of hesitation from Brady Brown as he tried to locate that baseball. I think that's the only thing that kept him from making that catch. If he had gone full sprint from the beginning, might have been able to get to it with room to spare, but just took a quick moment to see where it was, and that's all that was needed for the Chinooks.
So the bases remain loaded for Kai Butler, who's now in an 0-2 count. The .361 hitter has 22 hits. Trying to make it 23. That would likely bring in one, maybe two more runs. 0-2 pitch from Ramirez on the way. This one popped up, drifting toward the first base dugout. Should be playable. And the catcher, Isaac Fernandez, tries to make a diving play, and that's on Brooks Hassenclaver. He's got to call off the catcher because that would have been an easy catch for him.
Yeah, it would have been. Hassenclaver was already in position, and I'm not sure if Fernandez said, I've got it, and then he really didn't have it. But Hassenclaver looked like he had a good shot at it, and just some miscommunication, and that allows the Chinooks yet another chance. Another missed opportunity by the Oilers. We've seen a lot of that early, very uncharacteristic.
Kai Butler given 2 extra lives in this at-bat on balls that were popped into foul territory. Count remains 0-2 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, high for ball 1. Butler, a fly out and a walk. Nate Ramirez has pitched an inning and a third in relief. Was a strike away from getting out of the inning, and a error by the second baseman Luke Skinner on a ground ball from Samuel Hess extended the inning. Then it was a bunt single by Tate Green and a walk to Reese Vassar. That's how we've got the bases loaded. 1-2 count to Kai Butler. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the evening for Nate Ramirez, and what a big one it was to end the threat. The Chinooks failed to bring in a run. They do have 1 hit in the inning. There was an Oilers error, and the Chinooks leave 3 men on. It's a 4-1 lead for Chugiak as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order, or rather the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Oilers right here on ESPN Radio.
World Cup soccer is here, and Martha's Cocina on Willow Street in Kenai is your game day headquarters. Catch every match on their mini TVs while enjoying authentic Mexican favorites, ice-cold Mexican beers, local brews, and the Peninsula's best margaritas from the full bar. Bring the family, bring your soccer crew, and make every match a celebration. Need catering for your next event? Just ask. Martha's Cocina next to Kenai Cinemas and Acapulco Mexican Restaurant in Soldotna. Cuts, fractures, sprains, burns, fishhooks, and workplace accidents. Odyssey Urgent Care treats the injuries that can't wait. Need stitches? They perform laceration repairs right here. Got a fishhook where it doesn't belong? Well, they can help with that too. With on-site x-ray services, splinting, braces, and expert injury care, you can get diagnosed and treated in one convenient visit. Conveniently located in Kenai in the Odyssey Family Practice Building. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Walk in or call 907-283-8400. Odyssey Urgent Care.
Healthcare for your journey.
Colin Ott back on the mound for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Nick Sorrell here along with Dylan Simmons from the Dan Gensel broadcast booth at Coral Seymour Memorial Park. The Oilers in a hole trailing the Chinooks 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Mark Nellis, Nolan Gra, and Jack Holubowski due up. Nellis singled and scored in the first inning, and that was the lone run of the game for the Oilers. First pitch to him gets a swing and a miss. He's behind in the count 0-1.
Well, I think if you look at it from a certain way, you could say if you're an Oilers fan, defensively, they have not played the best so far in this game, and we still very much have a chance. That's the important thing to keep in mind right here. It hasn't been pretty so far, but you're only down 3 runs considering it's the bottom half of the third, so still a lot of opportunities for the Oilers, and fortunate to just be down 3 runs after 2.5 innings.
Nellis swings through the 0-1, now 0-2. Breaking ball looped into left field on kind of a weak line drive, but enough to do the job, and the Oilers have the leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning.
Not a bad night for Nellis so far. Did a great job of elevating that one towards the left side of the ballpark. Reese Vasher looked like he was trying to jump that thing, may have misplayed it a little bit and allowed it to be easier for Nellis, but either way, a really solid hit by Nellis and a good way to start this bottom of the third.
Now the left-handed hitting power hitter in the 3 spot, Nolan Gra, who also singled in the first inning, and he takes strike 1. Tell me your dad was a baseball fan without telling me your dad was a baseball fan when you have a name like Nolan.
I think it's, pretty clear to see. I would imagine that, he's probably got some connection there.
0-1 the count, and a pitch comes in high. Check swing from Gra, evens up the count, a ball and a strike. Yeah, I think every Nolan that I've met has a dad who is a baseball fan.
Yes.
1-1, ground ball into right field. That'll send Nellis down to second base. Rinse and repeat for these two. Back-to-back singles in the first, now back-to-back singles in the third, but this time the Oilers do it with no outs. So now threatening.
And I almost wonder there if Nellis, he was looking like he was basically taking off right as that ball was coming in, and I'm not sure if that obscured the vision of Carter Reed any, but really couldn't make a play on the baseball as Nellis was making his way towards second. So I don't know if that was a fortunate balance or whatever the case, but works out for Gra. Another single for the Oilers, and they're going to balk here with Ott.
Call a balk, and I believe that looked like Ott brought his hands together. And I think he was kind of just slapping the ball in his hand like baseball guys often do, but you can't do that as a pitcher. Once your hands come together, they got to stay together.
And they've not been shy about calling balks in this series, as we've seen so far.
So just like that, with no outs, the Oilers have runners on second and third. First pitch to the big Holubowski, fouled back and out of play.
It's amazing just how quickly they can put themselves back in position. That's why this Oilers team is so dangerous, because they can find ways to quickly get guys on base, and once the snowfall starts, it can quickly turn into an avalanche.
Jack Holubowski struck out swinging in the first inning. A wild pitch gets past the catcher, Pruneau, and in comes Mark Nellis to score a run, and it's now 4-2.
And that's another example of now the Chinooks making a mistake and allowing the Oilers to take advantage. This time a wild pitch. We saw a couple of those last night dramatically affect the game in the Oilers' favor, and here it gets them their second run of the night, in the bottom of the third.
Down to third goes Nolan Gra. Still no outs in the inning. A base hit brings the Oilers back within one. The tying run is at the plate in the form of Jack Holubowski. And there's another pitch. That one sneaks through the legs of Pruneau. Another run's going to come in to score. Back-to-back pitches that get away from Pruneau, and the Oilers back within a run, 4-3.
Oh, my goodness. How often do you see that? Back-to-back wild pitches, or you could call that one a pass ball in some way, I guess. But either way, very rare to see that kind of situation. Usually a pitcher refrains from a low pitch after a situation like that. Ott didn't, and he paid the price.
I think I'm with you. I think that should be a pass ball because it was right in the center of the plate. And a ball 3 on a pitch that misses low and inside to Holubowski. Now in a hitter's count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Base is empty now after a wild pitch and a pass ball bring in Nellis and Gra. And Holubowski, the dude with a hitter's count. Off speed, high ball. Ooh, a late strike call.
Yes.
Holubowski was 2 steps toward first base when home plate umpire Carson Jacobs made the strike call. Now 3-2. Shane Cannon on deck. Base is now empty. High ball 4, and that'll do it. Holubowski heads down to first base, and the first 3 Oilers in the inning have all reached, and it looks like we're going to get a visit from the Chinooks pitching coach to the mound as Colin Ott has found himself in a bit of trouble here in the third.
Yes, he has, and the control, much like we saw from Cody Smathers earlier, has been the big point of contention. Just can't seem to find the zone as consistently in this bottom of the third, and that's a little bit earlier than you'd like, I'd say, if you're a Chinooks fan, considering Colin Ott is your starting pitcher.
And the lineup doesn't get any easier. Shane Cannon has the lone RBI of the game for the Oilers. a single in the first inning that drove in Mark Nellis. That run did end up being unearned, as Nellis had taken third base on an error by the shortstop, Reese Vassar. And after the RBI single by Cannon, Isaac Fernandez struck out swinging.
Well, Shane Cannon's already been off to a great start today, has been picking up steam throughout this series. Sometimes you just need a couple of good games to really start to catch your form again. And if Cannon's first hit today is any sign, we could be in for a treat right here.
Holubowski is the runner on first base. Shane Cannon at the plate. The right-handed hitter looks at ball one downstairs. Isaac Fernandez on deck. There's still no outs in the inning. Oilers have seen 2 runs come in on pitching and catching miscues by the pitcher-catcher duo of Colin Ott and J.J. Pruneau. Here's the 1-0, and that's outside. Nope, just grazes the black, says Carson Jacobs. Count 1-1.
For those curious, over at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, the Matsu Miners on top of the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 6-0 in that bottom half of the 6th inning.
So right now, 3 runs charged to Colin Ott. 1 of them earned, but that could change. Pop up on the 1-0 pitch, stays on the infield. Vassar will call off the third baseman, Drew Hurst, and he makes the catch for the first down of the inning.
That's a big out for the Chinooks to break the momentum that the Oilers had built up, especially considering the damage that Cannon did earlier. Bottom of the lineup hasn't been quite as effective, but that can always change at a heartbeat.
Here's Isaac Fernandez, a .270 hitter. 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout swinging in the first inning. That ended the threat. The Oilers had a man on third base and looking to take a 2-0 lead at the time. They've since fallen behind 4-3. First pitch to Fernandez is a called strike.
Ott went to the outside corner that time. Seems a little bit better and more consistent after that visit by the pitching coach a moment ago. We'll see if those adjustments pay off, though. Still a long way to go in this bottom of the third.
No balls, 1 strike to Fernandez. Swings at a fastball upstairs, and he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. Runner on first base is Jack Holubowski. Took a walk. There were no outs at the time. After Nellis and Gross singled to lead off the inning, they took second and third on a balk by the pitcher Colin Ott, then scored back-to-back on a wild pitch and a pass ball. And that's how the Oilers have clawed their way back within a run. Here's a fastball that misses high and away to Fernandez, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
Great player out of Johnson University, helped that team to the NAIA World Series. A lot of winners on this Oilers squad when it comes to not just individual accolades, but team accolades. Fernandez as well as Killian DeMeo, the 2 Johnson University guys, great demonstrations of that.
1-2 pitch, lifted towards shallow right field, jogging in his Hess, and he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Now there's 2 away for Wyatt Bundy. Bundy on the third pitch he saw in his first at-bat singled it clean into left field, a ground ball that snuck underneath the diving third baseman Drew Hurst. Chance here to do a little bit more damage. Runner on first base is Jack Holubowski. He took a walk earlier in the inning. First pitch to Bundy, down and away for ball 1. Bundy, a left-handed hitter, plays left field. 8 hits on the season after the second inning single. The 1-0 high, ball 2.
Lefty batter here for Ott, so it's a lot tougher to control that sometimes. Even after you've gained a little bit of momentum, those guys can throw you off if you're not careful. Already behind in the count 2-0.
2-0 pitch missing away, and Bundy has himself a 3-0 count. And now it is Colin Ott who's laboring in the third inning. Oilers have made this a 3-2 game. There's a fastball middle for a called strike as Bundy was taking all the way. A .333 hitter, that average has gone up after the second inning single. 3-1 the count. Runner on first, 2 away. Cut and missed, and the count now 3-2.
Yeah, good work on the breaking balls by Colin Ott here to quickly get it back to a full count. Bundy just a little bit late to try to get that thing off. Payoff pitch coming up here with 2 outs.
Second full count of the inning for Ott. And there's a line drive that goes just foul outside first base, and that was very, very close as Bundy turned on it, and it went over the glove of a diving Carter Reed and landed just outside the chalk.
Boy, that was very, very close on that right side. I initially thought that did get down. Looked like it threw up some sort of white chalk, but it may have meant just outside. Either way, very close for Bundy.
Had run-scoring double written all over it. Count remains 3-2. Here's the pitch. There's a looping liner, but it's going to be played on a hop by the second baseman, Green, and he'll flip to first to retire Bundy. The Oilers get 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 man on base, and there were no errors in the inning. We go to the top of the 4th. It'll be Dylan Simmons for the middle 3rd innings, and we go again to the top of the 4th on ESPN Radio.
Hazardous trees are such a problem here on the Kenai Peninsula, but they have to be handled, and the place to call is AK Tree Solutions. With many years of experience in residential hazardous tree removal, they offer guaranteed customer satisfaction, and they're very accommodating. AK Tree Solutions also offers tree pruning, and they're licensed and insured. Get those hazardous trees off your property today. Call AK Tree Solutions, 907-398-2903. That's 907-398-2903.
Ready to spice up your day? Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant in Kenai is serving up bold, authentic Mexican food made with love and packed with flavor. New to town or just passing through, this is your must-stop spot for amazing variety, unbeatable prices, and all your favorites. Enjoy the free salsa bar and kick back with cold beer or a glass of wine. Located just past the last traffic light in Kenai, headed north. Playa Azul is where the fiesta never ends. Come hungry, leave happy. Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons. Oilers trailing the Chinooks 4-3 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. With your middle innings play-by-play, here's Dylan Simmons.
All right, thank you, Nick. And as you mentioned, top half of the 4th inning here between your Peninsula Oilers and the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Oilers fighting back in a big way in the bottom half of the 3rd inning with 2 runs scored, largely off of Chinooks' mistakes, a couple of odd pitches delivered by the starting pitcher tonight, Colin Ott, allowing for those 2 runs to come in. Now we'll see if Nate Ramirez, who remains on the mound, can limit the damage for the Chinooks here in the top of the 4th. It's Phoenix West, Cal Whip, and Drew Hurst, 3, 4, 5, who come to the plate. Phoenix West, so far in this game, has reached on a walk and also grounded out to second. One of the top batting averages in the ABL, and he fouls this one directly back, and that'll bring the count to 0-1. Nate Ramirez has gone an inning and 2/3 so far, and he's been very solid in relief of Cody Smathers, who did not have a good top of the 2nd inning. Ramirez came in and quickly took care of the rest, and is now trying to get the Oilers to the 5th, as this one is fouled off to the left side by West, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. A lot of fly balls delivered off of Ramirez so far in this game, and that's a pretty good sign for the Oilers. Again, just goes to show the adjustments that he's made as a pitcher so far this season. His ERA may be close to 9, but not indicative of his talent. This is well outside for ball 1. And talking to Nate throughout the season, he is a very chill guy, as the kids would say, but very much intentional about his improvement and his philosophy about the game of baseball that he instills each and every day. 1-2. Here's a ball popped up again on the left side by West. Keeps the count at 1-2. So many high IQ baseball players on this Oilers roster, and in my opinion, that's what makes them as well-oiled of a machine as they are. Their ability to recognize situations and take care of business. Ramirez continuing to fight against West on the 1-2. Ramirez deals. Fastball is lifted towards left. Camping underneath it, Wyatt Bundy in front of the warning track. He makes the catch for out number 1. Another fly out off of Nate Ramirez. Like we've said, that's happened quite a bit so far in this game, and that'll take him officially 2 innings in this contest. Cal Whip comes to the plate for Chugiak. Whip, so far in this game, does not have a hit. He's popped the ball up to the second baseman and flown out a ball to left field. Despite the 4-3 lead, the Oilers actually out hitting the Chinooks 6-4. Again, it's that top of the second right now that is the real difference between these two teams. Otherwise, it's been mostly Oilers. Ramirez zips this one into the outside for ball number 1 as he tried to catch the outside corner. Whip entered the game with the 4th best batting average on the Chinooks, a .295 with a .485 on-base percentage, the 3rd best on-base percentage on the team. 1-0 by Ramirez is high here for ball number 2. And, of course, Cal Whip, a guy who has a lot of great college baseball experience in addition to his summer ball experience, and is one of the key pieces in this Chinooks lineup. He's going to deliver a foul ball to the left side again. Fouled over the left side of the ballpark towards the beer garden, and that will bring the count to 2-1. Your infield for the Oilers is Nolan Graw at third, Shane Cannon at short, Luke Skinner at second, and Brooks Hassenclaver at first tonight. Your outfield, Wyatt Bundy in left, Mark Nellis at center, and Brady Brown is in right. Isaac Fernandez behind the dish right now. 2-1 pitch. And that's just outside for ball number 3. Remember that Ramirez did issue a walk in the top half of the third inning, and the Chinooks were able to get 3 runners on base before finally being denied by Ramirez. Now let's see how he handles the 3-1 against Whip right here. Tries this one to the outside and missed it high. Ball 4. So Whip will make his way over to first, and the Chinooks have a runner aboard here in this top half of the 4th inning. Again, the margins for error as far as the zone tonight are very thin. I think that's what got Smathers a little bit earlier on, and the same could be said there for Nate Ramirez. Carson Jacobs is your home plate umpire tonight, and he's being very intentional about where he wants this zone to be. Drew Hurst will come to the plate, and has already reached tonight for Chugiak on a walk in his first appearance. This pitch is low from Ramirez against the lefty batter. Not as loaded with lefty batters overall as the Oilers is Chugiak, but they still have a few that can give righty pitchers a little bit of trouble in a given situation. 1-0 coming up here to Drew Hurst from Nate Ramirez. Ramirez taking his time, delivers, and it is low for ball 2. Tried to go with an off-speed pitch, and he just couldn't measure it against Hurst right there. Hurst, a very patient batter at the plate. That's part of why he gets on base as often as he does. Doesn't have the stats to back it up, but make no mistake, folks, he is a very solid hitter for Chugiak. 2-0 from Ramirez, and he delivered this one high for ball 3. Now, for Nate Ramirez, this is, in a way, uncharted territory for him this season. Has not gone this deep into a game very often from the bump. In fact, his longest appearance was against the Matsu Miners back on June 25th on the road, in which he went 2 full innings. And he's going to deliver ball 4 here, and that will put 2 runners on base for Chugiak, as Hurst will be at first, and Cal Whip makes his way over to second. J.J. Pruneau comes to the plate, and it looks like Caden Tharp is going to make his way out of the dugout, maybe sensing the same thing that I might hear. This will just be a mound visit, so nobody will be subbed in yet, but the Oilers do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen in case Ramirez has to come out here in this top half of the 4th inning with 1 out and 2 runners on base.
A little bit of a jam with just the 1 out for Ramirez, who has been pretty solid. I mean, he's got a pair of strikeouts through 2 innings of work, so we'll see what his medal looks like.
And as I was mentioning to the listeners just a moment ago, Nick, this is tied for his longest performance of the season from the mound so far. Went 2 full innings against Matsu back on June 25th, but that's as long as he's gone this season. So not used to pitching this long in relief, but the Oilers would like him to make it that long if they could, trying to avoid being just a bridge pitcher tonight as J.J. Pruneau comes to the plate. Runners at first and second, and now the question is, can Ramirez maintain enough control to quickly get the second out and quickly get this thing to the bottom of the 4th? 4-3 Chugiak lead here in this early portion of the game. Ramirez tries to deliver this one into the zone, but places it low for ball one. Went for a fastball this time. Pruneau didn't bite on it.
The Chinooks have just had the bases packed all game.
That they have, and the Oilers have put a lot of those runners on base with a lot of self-inflicted walks and hit-by pitches. Here is a fly ball looped down towards right field. This could be trouble. It's just going to land in foul ground, and thank goodness it did. That will even it at 1-1. Otherwise, that probably would have been a bases-clearing shot for J.J. Pruneau.
Pruneau with already the one base hit tonight, and he came around to score, but last time he was up, Ramirez induced a fly out, so getting all these Chinooks guys underneath his pitches thus far, except for the base hit.
That's been the key for Ramirez so far in this appearance, is his ability to force those pop-ups and fly balls. Oilers need another one right here. Here's the 1-1, and here's a shot towards right field, and standing to make the catch is Brown. He'll quickly throw to the infield to keep the runners at first and second. Out number 2, and a good job by Brown on the out.
An interesting decision there by Brown. He really rushed that throw as if he thought the runner on second was going to try and advance, but very clearly just staying at second base, and it got away from the shortstop but rolled straight to Nolan Graw at third base. So, maybe a little bit of luck, but that always helps you out as well.
Yeah, you got to be careful and make sure you don't rush those throws from the outfield. Sometimes that can really come back to bite you if the infield isn't ready, but fortunately that won't be an issue for Brown here. Carter Reed comes to the plate. The 7-hole hitter will face off against Ramirez for the second time. Still runners at first and second for Chugiak with 2 outs. Ramirez watches this one get popped up to the right side on a fastball. Count goes to 0-1. 0-1 pitch coming up here from Nate Ramirez against Reed. Again, it is Aspen Hills night at the ballpark, and a lot of the folks from the senior residency have made their way out to Coral Seymour, having a great night at the ballpark. Got a team lunch with them earlier, and we want to thank them for their hospitality. We had a great time over there in Soldotna. 0-1. This is high and tight from Ramirez, and Reed had to lean back to avoid that one making contact. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, one more reminder, Ladies' Night is tomorrow night here at Coral Seymour. Make sure you come check it out. General admission $7, $10 for grandstand, and there will be door prizes going to support a great cause. 1-1 pitch from Ramirez, and this fastball doesn't miss. It's strike 2 as he gets Reed looking.
So now with the fly out a moment ago, officially his longest outing of the season, and no matter what happens going forward, tuck that one under your cap.
Yes, he's more than earned his pay grade so far tonight, but he'd love to finish the job here and get this thing to the bottom half of the 4th inning with the Oilers still down 1 run. 1-2 pitch. This is just upstairs for ball 2. Tried to go off speed this time and could not quite get that one down enough. 2 balls and 2 strikes coming up to Reed. 4th game of this Oilers-Chinook series. Oilers lead the series 2-1 here at home, trying to officially clinch this 5-game stretch with a win here tonight. 2-2 pitch from Ramirez. Fastball just outside for ball 3. Good take by Reed. That's one that a lot of guys probably would have swung at, but Reed held back, and it was a wise decision.
Yeah, it's a very tough pitch to lay off of. Great plate discipline by the first baseman for the Chinooks. And now we'll see, do the Chinooks load the bases 3 innings in a row?
Very well could happen. How does Ramirez deal with it? Hoping to slam the door on Reed right here. He took a look back to second, and he had to be very careful to avoid a balk in that situation as he tried to keep Whip honest and did so. Whip was kind of faking like he was going to go ahead and take off.
Yeah, the key there is so long as you don't make any forward motion, you can bring that knee up to 90 degrees.
Ramirez obviously understanding that. 3-2 on the way. Here's a ground ball right to the first baseman, Hassenclaver, and an easy out will end the top half of the 4th inning. Good stuff from Nate Ramirez. 2 2/3 innings pitched. Best performance of the season thus far. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base for the Chinooks. We go to the bottom of the 4th with your score still. Chugiak 4, Peninsula 3. Back in just a moment on ESPN. Don't touch that dial.
As we head into the summer months, don't forget all your summertime workwear and outerwear at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna. Right now, take advantage of great deals such as extra tough apparel at 20% off, including t-shirts and sweatshirts. Don't miss the cozy comfort of fleece blankets, $24.95. Levi jeans, 20% off. Hats and socks, 20% off. Also be sure to check out the exclusive 250th anniversary t-shirts. There's always new things coming in at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna, your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
Let's talk about something that's not always top of mind, but still really important, life insurance. Because it offers financial protection for your loved ones and can help them pay for things like a mortgage, credit card debt, and even your children's education. Plus, life insurance is probably a lot more affordable than you think. And with State Farm, your local agent can help you understand your options and choose coverage that fits your needs and budget.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons, Nick Sorrell joining you from Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark, where your score on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard is Chinooks 4, Oilers 3. There are 6 total hits for the Oilers so far, 4 for Chugiak, 1 error on each side. Luke Skinner will come to the plate. It's 8, 9, and 1 due up. Skinner, Brady Brown, and Brooks Hassenclaver against the starting pitcher for Chugiak tonight, Colin Ott. And this ball will be lifted almost up into some birds toward left field, and this will be caught by Phoenix West in a deep part of left field for out number 1 on the first pitch.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 out. Luke Skinner in his last at-bat, a sacrifice bunt to advance Wyatt Bundy, who had singled to lead off the inning. And Skinner attacking the first pitch right there. Kind of bailing, I would say. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a bad pitch. It looked a little bit high, so he got underneath it. But, yeah, almost hit those birds.
Yeah, there were some birds flying over, and I was not kidding when I said it almost hit him because it was heading right for him. Brady Brown comes to the plate and swings and misses at this Colin Ott breaking ball to bring the count to 0-1.
Real test for the Oilers here tonight. Lineup without Luke Lusky and Owen Musial. They trail 4-3. Can they find what they need at the plate?
Breaking balls hammered towards left field on a ground ball for a base hit. And Brady Brown does get a 1-out single for his first hit from the 9-hole of the game for the Oilers, tying run aboard.
Brown had that curveball read all the way. He sat back on that back leg, drove through it, and you could just see him waiting right there to swing, had it tracked, and a no-doubt single right between short and third into left field.
That'll bring Brooks Hassenclaver to the plate. In many ways, Hawkeye Hassenclaver has been the man of the hour for the Oilers more often than not this season. Had 1 hit and 1 run last night and generated several walks, as you'd expect for the Oilers. As this pitch comes in low for ball 1 from Colin Ott. And it is somewhat interesting that Ott remains on the mound to start this bottom half of the 4th inning, considering the control problems that he had in the bottom half of the 3rd. But Easton Babe and the Chugiak coaching staff relying on him to get through this frame. This is in for a strike, and that evens the count at 1-1 as it just caught the outside corner.
Hassenclaver did not like the call. He was shaking his head after Carson Jacobs made the strike call. And he may have an argument. That one looked like it may have been a little bit off the plate, but either way, pretty close.
Very close call for Jacobs. 1-1. Hassenclaver pops this one up on the left side. Hurst trying to get to it, won't be able to. It lands somewhere near the beer garden, and that brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The other game going on tonight, the Pilots and the Mat-Su Miners. Mat-Su Miners putting the hurt on the woebegone Glacier Pilots. It's 8-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pilots sitting on 16 losses if they drop this one.
Pilots have what I courteously refer to as Donald Duck luck right now. Here's a throwback to first, trying to pick off Brown. He just gets back in the nick of time. And if that score holds, that would drop the Glacier Pilots to 5-16 on the season. And their chances of making the championship series diminishing by the day right now. 1-2, runner goes. The throw is low. Here's the throw to second, and safe at second base is Brady Brown with an aggressive stolen base.
That was actually a great throw from Pruneau behind home plate. Skipped it in, and it was right on target to Reese Vassar. And he just had to try and get the tag down, but a great slide from Brown to get underneath it.
That is big, and it puts the tying run in scoring position with 2 balls and 2 strikes up here to Hassenclaver. And he swings and misses at this Ott breaking ball for strike 3. The second time Colin Ott has struck out Brooks Hassenclaver in this game.
So that's the second out of the inning. Run still stays in scoring position back there on second base. Steele feels very big right now as Nellis steps in 2 for 2, and he's been dangerous, and he's been seeing Ott very well.
That he has. He's had the most success of any Oilers batter, as you mentioned there, with those 2 hits, and he might have enough to drive in Brady Brown right here and tie this game. But Ott may have something to say about that as he delivers a looking strike to bring the count to 0-1.
Oilers have 7 hits, 4 of them from the 2 guys back-to-back in the lineup here, Nellis and Graw.
Goes to show you just how strong this top of the lineup is, and there's hit number 3 for Graw, right into left field. Stopping at third base is Brown. The throw will be to home, and that will keep the runners in their respective positions. But Nellis able to get another single in this contest. Runners at the corners for Peninsula.
Wow, what a great job. Nolan Graw absolutely has Colin Ott's number. He's 3 for 3 here, all 3 singles, but you got to give credit to Phoenix West over there. He was playing shallow in left field, anticipating perhaps a single. That's where all 3 singles from Graw have gone, to that left side, and he was able to charge in and keep the speedy Brady Brown at third base.
Yeah, that was a very intelligent play by the left fielder West. Nellis goes here, foul ball delivered by Nolan Graw. Back behind the press box, and that'll bring the count to 0-1. Nellis had no bones about taking off there for second base, though. Of course, the Oilers want to put 2 runners in scoring position, and Nellis has some of the best speed on this team, so certainly capable of stealing if he's given the right chance. 0-1, and Nellis does take off, and he'll get there without a throw. Pruneau not wanting to risk it. I think he anticipated that there may be a double steal attempt and decided to hold back.
Yeah, when you have the kind of speed of Nellis at first and Brown at third, that is the tailor-made double steal situation. You try and induce the throw down to second base, and as soon as the catcher throws for second, the third base runner takes off.
1-1 swing and a miss for Nolan Graw brings the count to 1-2. Good recovery by Ott there, and maybe on the verge of a big second out here in this bottom of the 4th if he can take care of Nolan Graw. 1-2 pitch on the way, and that's low, just kept in front by J.J. Pruneau, and that brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Runners at second and third for the Oilers. This is high, just barely. Well, not just barely, actually pretty clearly. And that'll bring the count full at 3-2.
Pruneau had to get his go-go gadget arm to go upstairs and snag that one. Wouldn't that have been crazy? Another wild pitch coming in for a run.
It would have been pretty wild. 3-2, and that one almost directly into the press box. Thank goodness for the net. That'll make it a payoff pitch coming up to Nolan Graw.
One of the coolest things I remember seeing watching a Astros game, Craig Biggio, since retired, was sitting directly behind home plate, and a 100-mile-an-hour fastball was fouled straight back.
Graw softly hits this one, a little roller up towards second, and Graw will get there. No, they say they got the out on Graw. What in the world? That looked like a very clear safe at first base call from our vantage point, and that would have brought in the tying run, but the second base umpire made the call, and the Oilers get denied a run. It remains a 4-3 game, and that will leave 2 men stranded on base.
Dave Dawson is fired up right now. He's still barking at Casey Moser, the field umpire, and he has an incredibly legitimate argument. There is no doubt here. Graw was safe by about a step and a half. Oh, man, that was a terrible call, and it denies the Oilers the game-tying run.
Looked like everybody else in the ballpark except Casey Moser saw that one as Graw getting there safely, and it's huge. It makes it still a 4-3 game. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base after 4 innings. We'll be back for the top of the 5th in just a moment here to Kenai on ESPN.
Upstairs at Beeman's, talking with Steve is a part of your future. You can get all the party supplies right here at Beeman's.
Matt, we have greeting cards for almost every occasion, so you can stop by and view our large selection of those. We have Wilton cake pans and decorating products, candy flavorings. We have latex and mylar balloons, portable helium tanks, table covers, plates and cutlery, piñatas, party favors, and lots of games.
Get this and more right now at Beeman's, located on the Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna.
Gentle Dental in Soldotna continues to invest in the latest dental technology. Their new 3D scanning system makes Invisalign treatment, root canals, extractions, and future of dental implants more precise and predictable than ever before. They've also refreshed their office to create an even more comfortable experience for every patient. Whether it's time for a checkup or a new smile, Gentle Dental is ready to help. Call Gentle Dental in Soldotna today at 907-262-8834 to schedule an appointment.
Back here on ESPN, Dylan Simmons, Nick Sorrell here at Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark, and after 4 innings of play on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard, it is Chinooks 4, Oilers 3. Very bizarre ending to the bottom of the 4th just a second ago. Looked like Nolan Graw was going to be able to get safe on first base with an RBI, but not the call by second base umpire Casey Moser.
And I don't even know what he was looking at because, I mean, umpires are trained to listen for the ball to hit the glove.
New pitcher on the mound for the Oilers here is Justin Parks will take over for Nate Ramirez. One Yavapai College pitcher taking over for another. He faces off with Samuel Hess to start off this top of the 5th. It's Hess, Tate Green, and Reese Vassar. And this is fouled back by Hess to bring the count to 0-2. Made just a slight amount of contact. Ramirez goes 2 2/3 innings pitched, his longest appearance of the season with a couple of strikeouts, right, Nick?
His last outing, Parks had a little bit of trouble with the command, came in relief, pitched 2/3 of an inning, walked 2, allowed a hit, and allowed a run to come in.
This pitch is high, and that will bring the count to 1-2. So Justin told me a story today back at the senior lunch, and he said that before his last appearance, apparently he got stung by a bee right before he went out. Like the last pitch that he made in the bullpen was when he got stung by the bee.
Wow.
And he showed me the mark as well. So he says he thinks that may have affected his control as that's fouled off by Hess. But that's a pretty wild story.
I would think so. I mean, generally, aside from a little bit of pain, what you get with a bee sting is a huge shot of adrenaline.
Right.
And so, you imagine walking out onto the mound right then, you got the jitters going through your blood. Yeah, that would definitely affect you.
1-2 pitch by Parks. Another foul ball here by Hess, who's making contact but just can't get it into the field of play so far.
Well, whoever sent that bee to sting Parks the other night is the same person who contacted Casey Moser before the end of that last inning because the Oilers got straight up robbed of a game-tying run.
1-2 pitch, low here from Parks. Count goes to 2-2. Usually like to defer to the umpires, but I would say that one looks pretty clear from what we can tell.
Yeah, in this instance, we're going to call a spade a spade. That was objectively wrong. Nolan Graw could not have been more safe.
2 balls and 2 strikes here from Parks, as this is a fly ball foul by Hess to the right side. And it's a huge call because the game would be tight right now, and we might still be playing in the bottom of the 4th if that was the situation. But instead, the Chinooks preserved the lead, and he got the new pitcher, Justin Parks, on the mound.
And beyond that, we're denied Nellis and Graw going 6 for 6.
That is also true, as that pitch is high for ball 3. So that could be a big nexus point to look back on in this game. However, the Oilers have overcome odd circumstances before. They may need to do it again here in order to get the win tonight. Payoff pitch from Parks. This ball lifted to right field on a fly ball. Brady Brown camps underneath it, and he makes the catch for out 1 on Hess.
And we'll move on from it, as the Oilers will need to because they're still trailing by a run, and you got to get back into the game. But this is one of those things that kind of defines a team because things aren't always going to go your way, right? Sometimes you get errors. Sometimes you walk batters. Sometimes you hit batters. Sometimes things just don't work out for you. Sometimes it's an objectively horrible call on the field. But you still have to find your own way to come back from that and, as you say, make your own luck.
Here's another ball popped up on the right side by Tate Green into foul ground. Brown speeds over and makes the catch. He didn't hesitate this time and gets out number 2.
Brady Brown was underneath that ball about a full half second before it got to him, and he probably had to cover 30 yards to get to it. I mean, that is some serious speed.
That's why you want speedy outfielders, is for exactly that situation, and that's exactly what Brady Brown just did. So we go back to the top of the order to Reese Vassar, who so far in this game has reached a couple of times already for Chugiak. Justin Parks with 2 outs delivers a fastball inside for ball 1.
So speaking of reviews, have you seen how you have catchers in Major League Baseball now reverse framing pitches to try and induce challenges from hitters?
Yes, I have seen that. 1-0 from Parks, swing and a miss by Vassar.
Wow. That pitch had Vassar so fooled, it bounced in the dirt in front of the plate, and he was already halfway through his swing when that happened. Justin Parks is a fantastic pitcher, and he's been that way all season, and 1,000 curses in all of his family on that bee that stung him the other night because that run he gave up was his first of the season.
Yes, he had been lights out, and he's still lights out, but that bee certainly may have played a factor in his last appearance as that breaking ball is delivered for a strike. Again, nobody wants to get stung by a bee right before you're about to do one of the biggest things that you have to do throughout the course of a day, especially when you're a baseball pitcher. It can definitely affect how you're going to perform. So Parks trying to get some redemption for the bee sting. 1-2 pitch, and that's just outside for ball 2. Only thing he's trying to sting right now are the Chinooks, as he's got a 2-2 count coming up to Reese Vassar right here.
What resolve from these Oilers? I mean, you have a ugly inning in the second, give up 4, battling back here.
Ground ball hit to short, picked up by Cannon, throws on to first, and got it there in time for a 6-3. He talked about resolve, and the Oilers have that in spades. A 1-2-3 inning for Justin Parks. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. Jack Holubowski, Shane Cannon, and Isaac Fernandez, 4, 5, 6 due up in the order for the Oilers when we come back on ESPN for the bottom of the 5th.
Baseball is back, and so is Save Second Base Ladies Night. Central Peninsula Hospital and the Peninsula Oilers invite you to a fun evening of baseball while raising awareness for breast cancer and the importance of early detection. Join us Thursday, July 9th at 6:30 as the Oilers take on the Chinooks. Ladies, get them for just $5. Enjoy healthy food options, face painting, and a great night at the ballpark for the whole family. Visit cpgh.org for event details. Join us July 9th, and remember, early detection saves lives.
Thinking about a new place to land here on the Kenai Peninsula? At Ashman Krause Real Estate, we believe real estate should feel clear, calm, and personal from the very first conversation. Whether you're buying your first home, moving across town, or preparing to sell, we guide you through every step with local knowledge and genuine care.
Ashman Krause Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate,
guiding you home with care.
Back here on ESPN, this is Oilers baseball on your ESPN station, and through 4.5 innings of this contest so far on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard, it is Chugiak 4, Oilers 3. Through several twists and turns in this game tonight. Chugiak with 4 hits, the Oilers with 8. 1 error on each side, and there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Chinooks, and for the second time in this series, it's Cade Rowland.
Final line on Colin Ott. 4 innings pitched, 3 runs, 1 earned on 8 hits, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts.
Rowland's last appearance was in the second game of the series, went an inning and 2/3 against the Oilers with no earned runs given up. Jack Holubowski comes to the plate for Peninsula right here. Number 4 man in the order, still looking for that first hit tonight. Watches a breaking ball go in from Rowland for strike 1.
Yeah, most of the damage for the Oilers tonight has come from the 2 and 3 hitters, Mark Nellis and Nolan Graw. 5 for 6 between the two of them.
This is low from Rowland, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And as you mentioned, it's been the top part of the order that's done the most damage for Peninsula tonight. And they're going to try to keep that pace going, but right now they also need some assistance from the middle part of the order if they can get it. Holubowski, 1-1 pitch. This is delivered outside by Rowland, and the count goes to 2-1. Cade Rowland hails from Connors State College, which you may be well aware of, folks. It's the same college that Mark Nellis and Brooks Hossenclaver went to this past season, so a teammate of those two, as this pitch is delivered low by Rowland for ball 3. Another interesting connection between these two teams.
Holubowski going to try and get on base here in a legitimate way, like in terms of a ball in play. He struck out in the first inning and walked in the third, so he just wants to get something out in the field.
3-1 pitch. Holubowski fouls this one back, and that runs the count full at 3-2 as he made slight contact with it.
I think he may have swung at ball 4 right there. He kind of reached out to make contact with that one that was a little bit off the plate. Cade Rowland, when he came in a couple nights ago, the game was already pretty well in hand for the Oilers. They did go on to win that one 11-4.
Payoff pitch to Holubowski, and this time Holubowski does not swing. It's low, it's ball 4, and the Oilers get a leadoff walk against Cade Rowland in the bottom of the 5th.
Just the second walk of the game to an Oilers hitter, and wouldn't you know, both of them to Jack Holubowski.
Holubowski kind of playing the Brooks Hossenclaver role tonight. Very patient at the plate, still looking for that first hit, but finding walks to get on base. And Shane Cannon will come to the plate here. Of course, he already has a hit tonight for the Oilers, looking for number 2 right here against Rowland. And shows bunt. He's going to lay it down. It's a good one along the third base line. Third baseman Hurst picks it up. Low throw, but got it there still to Carter Reed for out 1.
Yeah, ideal play there for Cannon. Got to challenge the third baseman, Drew Hurst, who has been up to the task now on a pair of bunts that were well hit his way right up the third base line. And but as it is, the runner at least moves into scoring position as you got a couple guys who can do damage later in the lineup here.
Isaac Fernandez will come to the plate for the Oilers, and now the tying run is back in scoring position. Of course, we sung that same tune in the bottom half of the 4th. Oilers couldn't get it to come in. We'll see if Fernandez can change that here. His first time up against Cade Rowland tonight, and he fouls this one into the netting, brings the count to 0-1. Oilers played a doubleheader against Chugiak about a week and a half ago, towards the middle part of their first 9-game road stretch. Have played 3 games so far in this series, as this is placed high for ball number 1. And as Nick mentioned at the top of the broadcast, as far as the season series goes, the Oilers lead it 3-2, but it's been very closely contested all the way through in these first 5 games. 1-1 pitch to Fernandez. Delivers a ground ball toward the left side, picked up by the third baseman Hurst. Throws it on to first base for a 5-3 and out 2.
Hurst, a veteran move there as he fielded that one, charging in, moving to his left, just shy of the infield grass, and the first thing he does, already knowing that he had time to get the runner at first, took a long look over to look the runner back to second base, Shane Cannon, because, at that point, nobody was covering third base. Cannon could have tried to take second or third.
Wyatt Bundy comes to the plate. This pitch is delivered a little bit high for ball number 1. Bundy also has a hit tonight, delivered a good shot into the gap between the 4-3 hole in shallow right field. Does he have another one in him here to maybe drive in Holubowski? Off to a good start as he's above in the count 2-0 against Rowland here.
Righty-lefty matchup. And you see the shift already. The second baseman, Tate Green, is on the grass.
2-0, and that's a looking strike toward the inside part of the plate by Rowland.
Green has played very well thus far in the game from that spot. He's kind of camped out back there on the grass.
Bundy fouls this one off toward the right side. Count will move to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bundy, young guy, but has so much that he's already offering for Peninsula this season, and he hasn't been afraid of the big moment so far in 2026. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the way to Bundy, and this is delivered low, and the count runs full at 3-2 for number 20.
Last pitch before that was a curveball that Bundy was way out in front of and learned his lesson from it, though. He watched that curveball come in low. He was tracking it all the way.
Now a big payoff pitch with 2 outs to Bundy. And he makes some pretty good contact, but fouls it off to the left side, keeping the count full, and another payoff pitch on the way from Roland.
That one he was a little bit late on because it was a fastball, so Roland doing a good job of trying to work the off-speed and fastball together. We'll see what he comes up with on the payoff pitch.
Here's the 3-2. Bundy chops this one over to the second base side, picked up by Tate Green, who gets it on to first for a 4-3 to end the bottom half of the 5th inning. Oilers leave 1 man on base, no runs, no hits, no errors, and again, it remains a 4-3 game after 5 innings. Chugiak will have Kai Butler, Phoenix West, and Cal Whip due up, and we come back to Kenai for the top of the 6th on ESPN.
This is Mark from Steam on Wheels. Wanted to talk to you about the Greer poly tanks that we are now stocking. We've got tank sizes from 1,000 gallon, 1,250, 1,500 gallons. What sets them apart from the competition is that they have up to a 10-foot bury depth. Sometimes you need a tank that can withstand more than 4 feet, and these are where these poly tanks really shine. We do have tanks in stock. As a customer, you can come by and pick them up, a contractor as well. Please give us a call at Steam on Wheels, 907-262-3240.
Dan's Automotive has the best customers in the world. What about Asia? We love Asia. We work on Toyotas, Hondas, Nissans, Hyundais, and Kias.
What about Amsterdam?
Do they even make cars?
Look, no matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive, serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Nick Sorrell joining you for the top half of the 6th inning. Your score, Chugiak 4, Oilers 3 after 5 innings of play on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Been a fun one so far, very tightly contested in this middle portion of the game. And Kai Butler, Phoenix West, and Cal Whip, 2, 3, and 4, will be due up against Justin Parks for Peninsula.
Interesting to note here that these are 2 teams who are very successful offensively, but the runs on the board largely due to pitching miscues. You had 4 walks in the 2nd inning issued by starter Cody Smathers that allowed those 4 runs to come in, and then 2 of the Oilers' runs have scored on a wild pitch and a pass ball.
Here's a ground ball delivered to the left side, picked up by Graw, who throws it on to first. He had to crawl basically to make that play, but still got the 5-3.
Great play by Graw. His defensive acumen at shortstop was great, and perhaps just trying to get him reset. He had a couple errors last night, an error the night before since coming back from being out of state, giving him a spot at the hot corner tonight, and he just shows how well he can play defensively right there. Stumbled as he hit the lip of the infield grass and still managed to come up and fire a bullet over to first.
Yeah, had to basically go on all fours, but managed to still pick up the ball and get the out. Impressive stuff from the South Dakota State Jackrabbit as this is fouled off by Phoenix West. That'll bring the count quickly to 0-1.
And Justin Parks, again, I mean, he just is pitching with such confidence. And the B story really puts things in perspective and kind of makes sense because that's the only time I've seen him on the mound this season where he just didn't look comfortable.
Yes. Again, that can affect your rhythm in a big way. This is high and tight against the lefty batter Phoenix West to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. But like you said, he's been very confident on the mound all season long. Has a great belief in himself and his ability. His ERA at Yavapai a little bit inflated due to circumstances out of his control, but he's done well here in Kenai so far. Here's a fly ball to the left side, fouled by West, and that will bring the count to 1-2.
Yeah, you go all the way back to his first outing in June with the Oilers facing the Pilots, and he had to come in and pitch 4 innings of relief, and he only allowed 1 hit and walked 1 and struck out 3 in that, and that was the first time we got a look at him. We actually had him come up here into the booth for the post-game interview, and he was just very calm and collected.
1-2, here's a ball popped up. Won't even escape the infield. Luke Skinner camps underneath it, and the second baseman makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, he jammed Phoenix right there, had him in on the handle, and he got him to pop out on a breaking ball that was on the inside part of the plate. And West was frustrated with himself as he jogged down the first baseline, actually kind of threw the bat down. And you can read the frustration. You know how these guys are competitive and how they feel when they get fooled on a pitch.
Phoenix West will not rise from the ashes this time. Cal Whip will come to the plate, the number 4 man in the order, as Parks goes for the fastball and gets it to catch the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, Whip 0 for 2 tonight. Pop out and a fly out, and he did walk in the 4th inning, but was stranded at second base by the great Nate Ramirez, who had a fantastic outing after the pitch here. I'll give you his stat line.
0-1 pitch from Parks, goes for a breaking ball, and beautiful for strike number 2. Again, he works it back toward the outside corner and gets it to an 0-2 count.
Just great command. Nate Ramirez, 2 2/3, no runs allowed, 1 hit, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Best outing of the season for Nate Ramirez. 0-2 pitch from Parks. Tried to get that one in the same spot again, but placed it outside. Count goes to 1-2.
That had a little bit of slider action. I mean, I think it was probably just a curveball, but the way it started off to the left and was breaking into the plate on the right side, I think he was trying to go with the backdoor slider. Doesn't like the first signal here. Now he likes the second one.
1-2 pitch. Goes for a fastball. It's well outside for ball 2. Just put a little too much mustard on that one, probably to the outside, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he had a little gas behind that pitch. I mean,
Yes.
if he'd located that, he definitely would have had Whip frozen, because I don't think Cal was ready for the kind of heat that Justin was bringing right there.
2-2 pitch. Parks goes back to the fastball. A little bit more toward the inside, but still outside for ball 3.
I'm still a firm believer. The best strikeout pitch is high heat, especially if you have great spin rate on your fastball. Kind of has that rising action to it. I mean, that's Justin Verlander's bread and butter right there, getting guys to chase pitches up above the zone.
Payoff pitch from Parks, 3-2, and too high, ball 4. So Cal Whip able to work a walk with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th after initially being down 1-2 in the count.
And, you know, even though he walks him, got to give Justin some respect and some love here, because he was committed to the fastball. And after breaking pitch that had 2 strikes and then a foul ball, he goes fastball. And unfortunately just could not get them to locate. And a great take by Whip with a 3-2 count, because he did not chase that high fastball.
Drew Hurst comes to the plate. Third baseman has been a thorn in the side of the Oilers as far as defensive play goes. This pitch is low here, and he has reached at least once tonight, Nick.
Yeah, he walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Struck out looking in the 3rd, and actually he struck out looking in the 2nd. That was when the Chinooks batted around.
1-0 coming up here to Hurst. Parks, the big southpaw, standing at 6 feet 7 inches tall. Takes a look at first and delivers. Here's a high drive over to left field, back towards the wall. It goes. Bundy makes the catch at the warning track for out number 3. Good work by Wyatt Bundy and great work by Justin Parks and the Oilers. 1 left on base for the Chinooks here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. And the score is still 4-3. Chinooks on top. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th to see the Oilers bats when we return on ESPN. Don't touch that dial.
Fall is just around the corner. Are you ready for your next chapter? At Kenai Peninsula College, we're ready for you. Registration for the fall semester is now open, offering the classes you need close to home. And big news, our residence hall is now open. You can once again experience full campus life, build lifelong friendships, and live where you learn while taking classes at KPC or any UA campus. Don't wait. Secure your classes in your room today at kpc.alaska.edu. Find your place at KPC.
Looking for the toughest trailers and equipment on the Kenai? Head to White Spruce Trailer Sales on Cave Beach Road, your local dealer for TYM tractors. That's right, they have TYM tractors and implements. Anything from TYM pallet forks, box blades, snow removal, and more. Built to work as hard as you do. From sales to service, they've got the parts you need to keep your equipment running strong all year long. Speaking of service, White Spruce offers a full-service shop with special discounts for commercial companies because supporting local businesses matter. WhiteSpruce.com.
Welcome back here to Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. Dylan Simmons, Nick Sorrell joining you, and we're in the bottom half of the 6th inning of this entertaining and exciting contest between the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks and your Peninsula Oilers. Again, 4-3 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. 8 hits for the Oilers, 4 for the Chinooks, 1 error on each side. Luke Skinner, Brady Brown, and Brooks Hossenclaver, 8-9-1, due up in the order to start this bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and I like that we're going to see Brooks Hossenclaver in this inning. He's 0 for 3 tonight, but it just really feels due for a solid hit.
Oilers have been knocking on the door, and speaking of knocking, that's going to knock off of Luke Skinner for a hit by pitch to start this bottom of the 6th. So some pretty solid contact on Luke Skinner to get the tying run on base. Not the easiest way to get it, but the Oilers certainly won't complain about it.
Wasn't exactly the solid hit we were talking about.
Yes.
But a hit we'll take.
We will certainly take that kind of hit as long as Luke's okay, and it looks like he's no worse for wear. Actually rode up with Luke this morning to the nice lunch that we had, and we're talking a lot about the game of baseball and anticipating tonight. He's been obviously very excited about how the last couple games had gone, and he was ready to get out there and show his stuff today, and now we'll get to show his stuff on the base path. Brady Brown comes to the plate here for the Oilers. Got a single his last time up. Let's see what he can do here against Roland.
Look where Drew Hurst is already at. He's already creeping in on the infield grass.
Shows bunt. This pitch is high on a breaking ball. Brown kind of had to duck it, and the count goes to 1-0.
Not typically a situation where you would bunt down the first base line, but that would make for a very interesting play because you have Reed trying to hold the runner on first and already the third baseman creeping in.
Here's a pickoff attempted back to first. Skinner quickly retreats. And yeah, the dichotomy of this bunt is very much in play here for Brady Brown, depending on where he tries to place it, if he goes for it. Does show bunt again. He's going to put it along the first base line. Picked up by Roland. Throws to first. Throw got to Reed in time to get the out. So a sac bunt from Brady Brown advances Skinner to second. 1 out in the top or bottom of the 6th.
And that is just hard-baked training into Cade Roland because he knew exactly what was going to happen, and he was anticipating that bunt going up the first base line. So as soon as he released the ball, he was already moving toward that right side of the diamond and was able to get there in plenty of time to retire the speedy Brady Brown.
Oilers have not been shy about using small ball so far tonight. Brooks Hossenclaver comes to the plate with the tying run in scoring position. 0 for 3 to start the game. Lets an off-speed pitch go by him here for ball 1.
And as we said, we mentioned at the beginning of the inning, this feels like that moment. We wanted to see Hossenclaver with a man in scoring position.
1-0, and this will be called for a strike by the home plate umpire Carson Jacobs. Count evens at 1-1. And it does feel like it's time for Brooks, considering how important and how special he's been so far this season. Does he have something in the chamber? 1-1 pitch at the knees of Hossenclaver here, inside for ball 2.
Great take. That one just a little bit off the inside part of the plate. And, you know, baseball is such a great sport. It's the one sport where, for no apparent reason, you can just say a guy's due.
2-1, swing and a miss here for Hossenclaver as he chased after it. Might have been a little bit high, but Hossenclaver tried to attack it on the fastball from Roland. And he's got a 2-ball, 2-strike situation coming up here.
Uncharacteristic number of swings and misses from Hawkeye here in this game thus far.
2-2 pitch. And called strike 3. He got him on the outside corner. Great pitch by Roland. And Hossenclaver, uncharacteristic, as Nick mentioned, 0 for 4 now tonight.
Yeah, with a pair of strikeouts. We have not seen him. I got to go back and check the scorebooks and the records. I don't know if he's struck out twice in a game this season.
Yeah, it's been a while at least since that happened. And now 2 outs here in this bottom of the 6th as Mark Nellis comes to the plate. And you take away Hossenclaver's usual productivity, it's a bit more of an uphill battle for the Oilers here trying to forge this comeback against the Chinooks. But Nellis has been automatic tonight, 3 for 3, and a chance to tie the game up right here. Softly hit ground ball up the middle, picked up on the run by the shortstop, throws it to first, and got it there in time. Good play by Reese Vassar to once again deny the Oilers with a runner in scoring position. So after the 6-3, the score remains 4-3. Chugiak on top of your Peninsula Oilers. We'll be back for the top of the 7th in just a moment with Nick Sorrell taking you the rest of the way here on ESPN.
Looking for a solid job with great pay and room to grow? Dam Construction and Roofing is hiring roofers and general laborers across the Kenai Peninsula. They offer competitive pay based on experience, overtime opportunities, paid sick leave, and full-time seasonal work. No experience? No problem. If you're dependable, motivated, and ready to learn, they'll provide the opportunity. Join one of the Kenai Peninsula's fastest-growing roofing companies. Call 907-262-3996 today or visit dambuilt.com. Dam Construction and Roofing, building careers one roof at a time.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is a new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Nick Sorrell alongside Dylan Simmons, our broadcast producer. Back in our K-Beach studio is Caleb Manuel. We go to the top of the seventh inning. If you've been watching and listening to this game, you're frustrated still with the Nolan Graw out call at first base that would have brought in the game-tying run. But you can't lay the entire blame on the umpire. The Oilers have had their chances. They're like 2 for 7 right now with runners in scoring position. And so they've had opportunities to bring in that game-tying run. They just have not been able to execute.
Yeah, they certainly have, and that's been an issue at different points in this season in certain losses where the Oilers have left a lot of guys on base and it's come back to bite them. Thankfully, still down only 1 run with a few innings left, but they got to take advantage of opportunities from here on out.
It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up. J.J. Pernot, Carter Reed, and Samuel Hess. Pernot is 1 for 3 tonight. Justin Parks gets right back to work and fires a fastball a little bit low for ball 1. Pernot getting the start behind the plate tonight after coming in as a pinch hitter last night. Justin Parks, 2 innings of work. He's not allowed a hit or a run. He has walked 1 man. The lefty delivers, and he gets a foul ball twisted off to the right side, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike on Pernot.
Yeah, Parks has been very impressive from the mound so far, as expected, and he's got the ability to go pretty deep into an appearance. His first 2 appearances of the season, he went 4 innings against the Pilots and Bucks.
So here we go again, 1-1 the count. Nobody aboard. Chopper, this is going to be a difficult play for the third baseman. Graw, he catches it on the run and fires to first for the out. Nolan Graw, I said that was going to be difficult. He made that look easy.
He did, but it's so easy to mess up a play like that because of the speed you have to go get the baseball at. Graw came in full acceleration. A single misstep or a single mislocation of the arm at some point in time takes the ball out of your hand, and that's an infield hit. But instead, Graw able to cleanly make the play and get an out. Sign of a great infielder right there.
The way the bottom of the 6th ended was a fantastic play by Reese Vassar, sprinting from short to record an out at first base. Here's the first pitch to Carter Reed, is a ball off the inside. Called strike on the inside corner. And Nolan Graw turns around right there and says, I'll see you and I'll do you one better. Covering twice the distance, covering it from third base, no less. Now an 0-1 count to Carter Reed. And he looks at one down in the dirt, an easy take, and the count evens up a ball and a strike.
Yeah, right now both defenses playing some of their best baseball of the game after some sloppiness early. And that just goes to show you that if you're going to get a run late in this game for either side, you're going to have to earn it without any doubt.
Last night, a combined 6 errors for the 2 teams, just 2 here tonight. There's a fastball that goes way upstairs. Count is now 3 balls and 1 strike against the number 7 hitter, Carter Reed. Did I say that right? 3-1?
I think it should be 2-1.
2-1, excuse me. So Justin Parks, who has been a mainstay out of the bullpen this season, home with the 2-1. That's a fly ball toward right center field, but drifting to his right to make the catch easily is Brady Brown. If it's less than 10 feet that he has to cover, I mean, it's just locked down.
Yes, and again, that's a situation where his speed makes all the difference. That ball got into right center field pretty quickly, but Brown does a great job of locating the ball, getting it on the run, and where he was situated in right field, he had a small enough amount of ground to cover that he was able to get to it in time, so nicely done.
Now Samuel Hess, the right fielder, who is 0 for 2 tonight, He was hit by a pitch and reached on an error. Takes a fastball high and in for ball one. Also flew out to right field. That HBP by Cody Smathers against Samuel Hess back in the second inning produced the first RBI of Hess's season. 1-0. Cut on and missed for strike one.
That's one that Hess is probably going to want back, too. Obviously, I think either way it would have been a strike, but he went way too late into the process of that swing. Parks, I think, just using his fastball to his benefit right there. Hess not entirely expecting it.
Parks does a great job going high to low, misses high with the fastball, gets him to chase one downstairs. Now a pop-up. This should be it, make it a 1-2-3 inning. Drifting back and behind first base and making the catch is Brooks Hassenclaver. 1-2-3 go the Chinooks for the first time tonight, and Justin Parks is in control. Oilers need to battle back. They trail 4-3 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard after 6.5. We go to the seventh inning stretch in the bottom of the seventh when we come back right here on ESPN Radio.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is a new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
The World Cup's coming and everybody's talking defense. Here's a strategy that works long after the final whistle. If your family is complete, a no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy is a safe, effective move. If you're done building your team, it may be time to strengthen your defense. Dr. Alvarez can perform your procedure in Soldotna or Homer. It's quick, comfortable, and a whole lot easier than chasing toddlers into extra time. Don't leave your future up to a lucky bounce. Call Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics 907-235-1010 and schedule your no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy. Score some peace of mind and enjoy the games.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons. It'll be the heart of the lineup due up for the Oilers in the bottom of the seventh. Nolan Grant to lead things off. The southpaw lines the first pitch he sees into left center field. That's going to drop down, and it'll be cut off there by Kai Butler. But a leadoff single on one pitch to Nolan Grant. He's 3 for 4 tonight.
He didn't waste any time, did he? First pitch he sees in the bottom of the seventh, he says, all right, I'm going to hammer this one into left center field. That's exactly what he does. Gets it down into the gap. That's how you make a statement to start a half inning. And again, the tying run aboard for the Oilers. They've been denied before. Can they finish the job this time to tie the game?
Going to need to convert with a runner in scoring position right now, the leadoff man on first base. Here's Jack Holubowski, 0 for 1 tonight with a pair of walks, and he looks at a fastball downstairs from Cade Rowland. Rowland on the bump for his third inning of work in relief for the Chinooks.
Do have a final in the Matsu Miners Pilots game. Matsu wins 10-0 in 7 innings in
Yikes.
Palmer.
That's painful. 1-0. A slider that drifts off the plate, and Holubowski once again ahead in the count, 2-0. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Since then has worked 2 full count walks. Nolan Grant led off the inning with a single here. Holubowski trying to pick him up. Hitters count, and he pops this one up and off to the right side, and it should get out of play. The first baseman, Carter Reed, actually looked like he was about to leave the field. He went to that door to the right of the first base dugout.
Yeah, he was trying to get through that gate door, and hey, I think he would have had a shot at making the catch if he'd went through it, but obviously it doesn't really count at that point, but certainly an A for effort.
Right? It's worth it just to say you did it, I guess. Either way, count 2 balls and a strike to Holubowski, a pickoff throw, and Gra was a mere step and a half off of first base, so he skips back easily. Over at third base, Drew Hurst. Keep an eye on him because he is creeping way in, and he might be misreading Holubowski because I don't think he ever intends to bunt here. Check swing on a ball that just clips the outside corner. That looked a little bit low, and the Oilers dugout is giving the home plate umpire Carson Jacobs the what for. Either way, count 2 balls and 2 strikes on the dude. Cade Rowland on the mound. The righty delivers. There's a slider that goes way off the plate. Front door slider not getting Holubowski to chase. And once again for the third straight at-bat, Holubowski works a full count.
He's been great at that so far tonight. He's shown tremendous plate discipline and tremendous patience so far.
Grod first gets his lead. There's a drive toward left field. It might hang up onto the warning track back, and making the catch at the wall is Phoenix West, and Holubowski just throws his head back in frustration as he thought that one was gone. We all thought it was gone, and boy, wouldn't that have been a big moment for the big Holubowski.
Oh, it would have been absolutely huge. He's already got one home run in this series, and he almost sent that one out of here to give the Oilers the lead, as it looks like there's going to be a visit on the mound, and Easton Babe may look to make a pitching change here.
That was the first out of the inning, and Holubowski gave that one a ride whenever. So most guys, they got their home run call, right? I like to say that it needs a bigger ballpark, right? That one needed about 2 more feet.
Yes. It needed barely 2 more feet to clear that fence. Just about left the ballpark. And again, it was to the deepest part of left field. Great charge by Holubowski. Just couldn't get that one out. But you still got the tying run at first base, but one less out to work with.
The crowd tonight here at Coral Seymour much thinner than it was on the last 2 nights when we had plenty of sunshine. Although the clouds are breaking up just a little bit as the sun kind of works its way to the horizon over behind the first base dugout and the clouds. But even though this crowd would have lost their collective minds.
Oh, yes.
If that one would have gone out.
Well, we've had 5 home runs in this series already. Why not get a 6th? And maybe Shane Cannon can help with that.
Shane Cannon digs in 1 for 2. A single, a pop out, and a sacrifice bunt. Nolan Graw on first base, 1 out. Cade Rowland gets a big swing and a miss as Cannon was fooled there, way out on the front foot.
Oilers are out hitting the Chinooks 9-4. Chugiak, though, still with the lead. And it tells the story of the Oilers not capitalizing on these opportunities. That's why this bottom of the 7th feels as big as it does.
Graw diving back in on the pickoff attempt from Rowland. And Shane Cannon will step out and tap the shoes. Chinooks 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. The Oilers 3 runs, as Dylan said, on 9 hits and 1 error. A 1 pitch to Cannon is a little inside and perhaps a little bit high, and the count evens up, a ball and a strike. Cannon's another guy who can steal bases. He's number 2 in the league with 8 stolen bases this season, although he's going to need to advance Graw 2 bags if he wants a chance to steal. Pickoff throw not in time as Graw jumps back in safely.
They are really trying Nolan Graw over there at first base. He's got a decent leadoff, but not one big enough to where I think you got to worry about a stolen base yet.
1-1 pitch is a breaking ball. Rather, that looked like a changeup, and had Cannon fooled badly. He just watched it go by, and it was middle for strike 2.
Yeah, great pitch by Rowland in that situation. That brief intermission that he had with Easton Babe is seeming to work wonders so far.
Graw at first gets his lead. 1 out, 1-2 pitch, foul to the backstop. And Cannon just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Cannon's going to try and advance the runner, and I think they really do want Graw to try and take second base. However, J.J. Pruneau behind the plate has had a couple throws down to second that were right on the money. We'll see if Graw challenges him. Does not go, and the fastball on the 1-2 count comes in high for ball 2.
Yeah, I think if he's going to go, it's going to be on this 2-2. Obviously, they're trying to be a little bit more cautious. You want that tying run to be in scoring position, but you also don't want to sacrifice it and get this to 2 outs.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Rowland with just a nasty curveball gets Shane Cannon to reach out and try and snag it, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, really nice pitch to Cannon that time. Tried to get it toward the outside corner, but there was just no way he was going to be able to catch up to that one. Maybe the best pitch of the night from Cade Rowland, and it gets the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Second strikeout for Rowland. And now Isaac Fernandez will step in. He's 0 for 3. A strikeout in the first, a fly out in the third, and a ground out to Hurst, who's been rock solid over there on the hot corner for the Chinooks tonight. First pitch from Rowland, though, goes with that front door slider again. This one misses way off the plate, and it's 1-0. Nolan Graw has looked antsy over there on first base after leading the inning off with a single, but has been frozen there since. Roland. There's a changeup that clips the corner on the inside. It was letter high, maybe a tad bit higher than that. Either way, it's a strike call from Carson Jacobs, and the count evens up 1-1.
Establishing much better control as this inning has gone on, and you can see it in the way he's pitching right now.
1-1 pitch. There's a line drive. It's going to get down in front of Phoenix West, and everybody will move ahead one bag as Isaac Fernandez has his first hit of the night.
Great shot by Fernandez. You'd like it to be a little bit more into the gap to maybe have a chance to bring Graw to third, but still a really solid shot. Gets a couple runners on base. And Wyatt Bundy does have a hit tonight. Could be setting the Oilers up well here in this late stage of the 7th inning.
The second baseman, Tate Green, once again moves to his station on the outfield grass. Kind of right center field, but he's retired Bundy on back-to-back hits there, and there's a grounder straight to Green, and he'll field it on the grass and throw to first to get Bundy on the 4-3 putout to end the inning. Oilers cannot bring a run in from scoring position once again. They have 3 runs on 10 hits. The Chinooks 4 runs on 4 hits, and it's a 4-3 ball game as we go to the top of the 8th on ESPN Radio.
If you've been involved in an accident or had a catastrophic injury, negotiating with insurance companies on your own is fraught. Insurance companies want to maximize their profits, and that means minimizing fair and just resolution to you. They don't want to pay for your medical bill. They don't want to pay for your lost work. They don't want to pay for your pain and suffering. Expert insurance negotiators and adjusters will try to minimize your claim at every turn. It's important to have an attorney to get the recovery that you deserve. At Earhart, Elsner & Cooley, we can help you get that fair and true value.
Hello, I'm Marty Hansen, owner and manager of Eyewear Express. Have you ever bought new glasses for your little darling and they're lost or twisted into a figure 8 before you even get home or take that first picture? Well, if you got them at Eyewear Express, we'll replace the frame for free. Let me say that again. If they lose or break the frame, we'll replace it for free. So relax and expect the best from Eyewear Express in the Peninsula Center Mall, Soldotna, 260-9199.
Justin Parks back on the mound for his 4th inning of work in relief. He has not given up a hit or a run, and he's just walked one man. Nick Sorrell here along with Dylan Simmons. As we go to the top of the 8th inning, the Eagle River Chinooks will send their 9-1 and 2 hitters up, and it'll be Tate Green to lead it off. He is 1 for 3, a single, a strikeout looking, and he fouled out to right field. That was when Brady Brown got on the treadmill to get over there into foul territory.
Yes, he did, and that outfield's made several great plays throughout this middle to late stage of the game, but give credit to Justin Parks. 3 innings of pretty much picture-perfect pitching so far. However, you still got the top of the order coming up here after Tate Green in the top of the 8th. Going to be a big test this late into an appearance.
Parks, the first Oilers pitcher tonight to retire Reese Vassar. That was back in the top of the 5th inning. Here's Tate Green, the right-handed hitting second baseman, who's been the bane of Wyatt Bundy. He's gotten him 3 times tonight. Grounding over to that side. First pitch to Green is a grass-cutting grounder over to the first baseman, Brooks Hossencleaver, who picks it up easily and touches the bag himself for the first out.
Yeah, that's a big out to get on Green to start things off in the top of the 8th. You want to move quick and quickly get your bats back out there without establishing any sort of momentum or excitement for these Chinooks.
And so we got to go all the way back to the 6th inning. The last time the Chinooks had a base runner. Since then, it's 5 straight, retired by Justin Parks. Reese Vassar, 2 for 3 tonight. Pair of singles, an RBI, and a walk. Last time up, grounded out to shortstop. Looks at a ball here, low and inside. Justin Parks, the lefty, picking up where he left off in his outing pre-Beasting.
Yes.
Beasting outing doesn't count.
You can wipe that from the history books.
1-0 pitch, bases empty, check swing, and that was a fastball that kind of had Vassar fooled. I don't know where he thought it was going to be. It was a 4-seam fastball that was middle.
Yeah, I think he may have thought that would go a little bit higher. It didn't swing at it, paid the price. Again, just shows the great control that Parks has on the fastball right now.
1-1 pitch, and that's a fastball low for ball 2. One out in the inning for the Chinooks. They lead the Oilers 4-3 in the top of the 8th inning on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. There's nobody aboard, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to the top of the lineup hitter, Reese Vassar. Justin Parks with a 2-1 pitch. There's another middle fastball that Reese watches go by, and he takes his helmet off almost in frustration as if thinking, how am I watching these?
Yeah, that's another one that I think he would have rather swung at, decided not to. Again, it's almost deceptive in the way that Parks delivers it. It looks like it's going high, but it just doesn't do it.
Let's see if he goes backdoor slider here. No, he goes fastball again, but does not get the call. And you can hear the crowd. They wanted the call. All the grandstand umpires thought that was strike 3. But home plate umpire Carson Jacobs says it's ball 3. So we're 3-2 now with one away and nobody aboard for the Chinooks. One sign and a nod from Parks. Here comes the pitch, and there's a line drive. That's going to drop down into center field in front of Mark Nellis. And a one-out base runner. And Vassar is 3 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, he continues his pretty solid night, I'd say, against the Oilers. And again, just drives that one perfectly into the gap in right center field. A lot of room left over there because of how far Brown and Nellis are spread out. Getting an easy hit here for the Chinooks.
Interesting to note here as Kai Butler comes up to bat, all of the highest average guys for these two teams, Jack Holubowski, Brooks Hassenclaver, and Kai Butler and Phoenix West, all hitless tonight. Kai Butler 0 for 3, runner on first, gets a big secondary lead as Parks misses low with the first pitch, and so it's 1-0 on Butler.
And you can't always rely on those top guys to be the guys that get you through a game. That's why in these situations you really admire those guys who maybe aren't the flashiest in terms of getting runs on the board, but they can make for a very effective appearance whenever they get the chance.
Fastball off the plate inside for ball 2. That is the first hit allowed by Justin Parks tonight. And Reese Vassar having himself a great night. Again, the Chinook came into this game with just 6 hits on the season, and he's now upped that by 33%. Check my math, from 6 to 9. Fastball inside corner for a called strike from Parks on the 2-0.
Parks at 45 pitches in total so far tonight. Again, approaching that quote-unquote limit that he's had this season. He's gone 4 innings twice, so he's getting closer to it, but still has a pretty decent amount of control right now.
The Yavapai sophomore trying to keep the Oilers in this one. Check swing, or rather, a ball thrown over to first base almost in time to get Vassar, but he dives back in safely, and that throw actually skipped away from Hassenclaver, but not far enough away that Vassar was able to take second.
Yeah, thank goodness. The ball looked like it either bounced off Hassenclaver's glove or the bag, one or the other, and that kept it from possibly going into foul ground and becoming a huge problem.
2-1 pitch on the way. There's a fly ball. Another run for Brady Brown. Can he get there in time? No. This one drops onto the dirt in front of the Oilers bullpen off to the right side, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't care how fast you are. I don't even know if Usain Bolt could have caught up to that one with where it was positioned in foul ground, but Brady Brown still got pretty close.
Channeling his inner Olympic gold medal sprinter right there, but as you said, not quite enough. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count on Kai Butler. Reese Vassar, a single a moment ago, stands at first base. Dancing around. Here's the 2-2. There's a grounder to the left side. This could be 2. The shortstop to second for the first out. Relay on to first is in time, but it's high, and Hassenclaver has to climb the ladder to grab it. Foot comes off the bag, and Kai Butler safe on the fielder's choice.
Man, that was very close, and again, positioning on a throw is so crucial. Luke Skinner just about had it where it needed to be, but just a little bit high. That's all it takes. Hassenclaver, the moment after Butler was safe, he got his foot back on the bag, but unfortunately that's just 2 outs.
Shane Cannon fielding that one. If he was a little bit closer, he perhaps could have taken that himself, but wisely flipped it to Skinner. Now here's Phoenix West. First pitch he sees is a deep drive toward right field. It's going to get all the way down in front of the wall. It'll be a double at least, maybe more. Having hard time with it is Brady Brown all the way around from third to score, and sliding in safely to third base is Phoenix West with a 2-out RBI triple, and that is a huge insurance run for the Chinooks.
It absolutely is. Drilled towards right center field. The biggest hit of the night, I would say, for either side. Again, the wrong spot for the Oilers, right in the gap. Brown did what he could, but just no way he was going to be able to catch up to it. And then, of course, Brown crashed off the wall, didn't help matters, and West with a massive triple for the Chinooks here.
And that one makes this game much tougher for the Oilers as they trailed 4-3, now trail 5-3 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Earned run given up by Justin Parks. And here's Cal Whip with a runner at third base, and he turns on the first pitch from Parks and pulls it foul off to the left side for strike one.
That's going to make it a little bit tougher for the Oilers in the bottom of the eighth, but right now you've got to try to find a way to make sure that Phoenix West doesn't score from third base, because it could very well be a 3-run game if Parks gives up another hit here.
And you have to get past the cleanup hitter. So you got to settle yourself down and get over the triple. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and he quickly has Cal Whip in an 0-2 hole. Whip 0-2 tonight, a pop out and a fly out, also a pair of walks.
It's the first run the Chinooks have scored in this game since that top half of the second inning, by the way.
The left-hander with the 0-2, popped up and out of play off to the right side, going toward the parking lot. And the count remains 0-2. Well, the double play that wasn't comes back to bite the Oilers. They were just a toenail away from getting out of this inning without giving up a run. But then after Kai Butler safe at first on the high throw from second base, comes around to score on the triple by Phoenix West. There's a fastball high on the 0-2 pitch. That's ball one to Cal Whip.
The little things, they may seem small in the moment, but they can add up quickly and ferociously if you're not careful. And again, just a few inches, sometimes that's all it takes to all of a sudden completely change the dynamic of a game.
Runner on third, 2 outs, and a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch to Whip, and it's a fastball low for ball two. Whip wisely lets that one go by. One of just a couple guys in the park tonight who wears those high knicker-style pants.
Yes.
Has white batting gloves as well. Open stance with the left foot a little bit back. 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that doesn't quite come back onto the plate. And Whip has worked a full count.
I think Parks probably will go back for the fastball here, try to challenge Whip. We saw West deal with it well a second ago. We're going to find out if Whip has anything for it.
Parks gets his sign, sets at the waist. And the payoff pitch fouled away to the right side, and will reset and do it again.
Yeah, Whip attacked it, got a piece of it, but could not get it back into the field of play. Setting up a really good battle between Parks and Whip right now.
That triple a moment ago by Phoenix West really showed off his speed. Even though Brady Brown had a little trouble with it in the fence, that ball got to the wall very fast. Here's another payoff pitch coming to Cal Whip. On the way, again fouled off to the right side. Jammed him in on the handle as Whip was out in front of it. And that one twisted away from him.
Yeah, you talked about Phoenix West and his speed. There's a reason why this guy has one of the top batting averages in the ABL and a bundle of stolen bases this season. It's because he's got incredible speed around the base path and can quickly shift momentum.
3-ball, 2-strike count, 2 outs, and here's the pitch outside, ball 4. And that will put runners on the corners for the Chinooks. Phoenix West with the RBI triple a moment ago with 2 outs, and now a 2-out walk issued by Justin Parks. And we'll see how he faces the adversity here. Drew Hurst, who is 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout, a fly out, and a pair of walks and a run scored. We'll dig in, and we get ourselves a lefty-lefty matchup.
That was great patience by Whip in that last at-bat that allowed him to get to first. We'll have to see if Hurst is quite as patient here and whether or not Parks can correct this into the zone.
Parks the pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Now, Whip does not have the kind of speed from guys like Vassar, Butler, or West, but even still, with a first and third situation, you may see him try to take second, just to try and induce that throw down and score the speedy West from third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A fastball, again missing low, and it's 2-0 on Drew Hurst. A walk here would load the bases, and the Chinooks have had 2 bases loaded situations already tonight, once in the second and once in the third.
That's why Dave Dawson's got to be watching this very closely right now. Make sure this doesn't get out of hand.
2-0, again low from Parks, who's getting a little bit too on top of these four seams. And now a 3-0 count to the number 5 hitter, Drew Hurst, who came into the game with just a 179 average, and that has drooped just a little bit with the 0-for-2 night thus far. And now Parks will have to fight his way back. Runners on the corners, the pitch, and it's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Drew Hurst, and that's back-to-back free passes from the normally solid Justin Parks. And here comes Coach Dave Dawson, and that may be it. The bases loaded up for Chugiak in the top of the 8th inning. The Oilers 1 out away from getting out of the inning, and it was a double play ball that the relay throw to first came in just a little bit high that allowed Phoenix West to come to the plate, and he delivered the triple that scored the 5th run of the game for the Chinooks. Kai Butler coming in. And our relief pitcher coming in, we'll let him get warmed up, and we'll figure out who it is when we come back right here on ESPN Radio.
Play ball! Bear Bucks is making savings easier than ever with new promotions that give you discounts no matter how much you spend. Enter your phone number at checkout to unlock active deals and rewards every time you shop. Not a member? No problem. Just scan the QR code in store and sign up in seconds. Start earning rewards at just $5 and get double rewards when you spend $50 or more. Don't miss out. Your rewards are tracked right on your receipt and easy to use in the app. Bear Bucks. More savings, more rewards every time you shop.
Everyone knows the struggle. The DMV keeps bankers hours while they're stuck at work. That's where AK Express rolls in to save the day. They handle the services people need, and that's why they want you. Open until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and Saturday.
Understood.
Free. AK Express makes busy schedules easier. Conveniently located at the corner of K Beach and West Poppy Lane. Next to Everybody Rides Again. AK Express, where convenience is king.
New pitcher on the mound for the Oilers is Russ Martin. Martin, his second relief appearance on this homestand. Pitched 2 1/3 back on Monday night. Did not allow a run to score, did not give up a hit, walked no one, and struck out 1. So it was a good outing for Russ Martin, and he's going to need a big moment here as he inherits the bases loaded. All 3 of those runners belong to Justin Parks, who let things get a little bit out of hand after the 2-out triple to bring in the 5th run of the game for the Chinooks.
Russ has a 14 2/3 innings pitched total on the season with a 5.52 ERA and 14 total strikeouts, 1-0 record. Pretty solid out of the bullpen as of late, and he's going to need to be that and more here in this top half of the 8th inning.
Russ Martin, a right-handed pitcher, to face the right-handed hitting catcher J.J. Pruneau, who is 1 for 4 tonight, singled and scored in the second inning. Martin, looking back at second base, now comes home with a curveball that's there for called strike 1. Justin Parks, 3 2/3 innings of work, 1 run earned on 2 hits and 3 walks. But he's going to have, he's responsible for all 3 men on base right now. 0-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. And quickly 0-2 on J.J. Pruneau. Reed Carter is on deck. He'd love a chance to hit here because that would mean a run's come in to score. Oilers trying to keep this a 2-run game. They trail 5-3 in the top of the 8th inning on your 3 Bears Alaska scoreboard. Russ Martin on the mound in relief for Justin Parks. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to the right side, played on the backhand on 1 hop by Hassenclaver, and he'll flip it to Martin to touch the bag and retire the side. Oilers get out of the bases loaded 2-out jam, and we go to the bottom of the 8th where we'll get the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Skinner, Brown, and Hassenclaver. Oilers trailing by 2 after 7.5. We'll be back on ESPN Radio.
World Cup soccer is here.
Screen 8.5.
Say again?
What you mean, 8.5?
No, we're in the 8th inning, so it would be 7.5 innings before.
Oh, I get.
There you go.
Full bar. Bring the family, bring your soccer crew, and make every match a celebration. Need catering for your next event? Just ask. Martha's Cocina next to Kenai Cinemas and Acapulco Mexican Restaurant in Soldotna. Cuts, fractures, sprains, burns, fishhooks, and workplace accidents. Odyssey Urgent Care treats the injuries that can't wait. Need stitches? They perform laceration repairs right here. Got a fishhook where it doesn't belong? Well, they can help with that too. With on-site x-ray services, splinting, braces, and expert injury care, you can get diagnosed and treated in one convenient visit. Conveniently located in Kenai in the Odyssey Family Practice Building. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Walk in or call 907-283-8400. Odyssey Urgent Care.
Cade Rowland back on the mound for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Nick Sorrell and Dylan Simmons with you. The Oilers find themselves trailing by 2 runs after the Chinooks work some 2-out magic. A booming triple for Phoenix West brings a run all the way around from first to score. And the Oilers now have their work cut out for them. Russ Martin, though, does a great job to induce the ground out and get the Oilers back into the offensive side of the inning. It'll be Luke Skinner to lead things off. Skinner tonight 0 for 1. A fly out, hit by a pitch, and a sacrifice bunt. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch is a strike on an off-speed pitch outside part of the plate. After Skinner, it would be Brady Brown, and then back to the top of the order for Brooks Hassenclaver. There's a ground ball wrapped but foul off to the right side as Skinner was way out in front of it, and he's behind in the count, 0-2. Cade Rowland is pitched 3 innings in relief after Colin Ott went 4 innings with 3 runs given up, 1 earned on 8 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Fastball on the 0-2 count is low and away for ball 1. Skinner lays off that one. Wherever you may be and however you may be tuning into tonight's game, thanks for joining us. 1-2 pitch from Rowland. Swung on and popped high and out of play off over the third base dugout. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Luke Skinner. A 135 hitter this season with just 5 hits and 6 RBIs. Average has dipped a little bit tonight as he is 0 for 1. But a big moment here is the Oilers need to get the leadoff man aboard to start cutting into this 2-run lead. There he goes with a drive toward right field. Deep toward the track, back at the wall, and making the catch is Samuel Hess. And Luke Skinner just about electrified this place. But again, like Holubowski, in the 7th inning, he comes up about 2 feet short.
Yeah, did he ever. What a shot towards right field. Just needed a little bit more, much like Holubowski, but could not get that one to escape the park. Oilers have been on the verge now a few times tonight of getting a home run, but just can't get it to leave the park.
Cade Rowland, first pitch to Brady Brown is a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Brown tonight 1 for 2. Singled in the 4th inning and made it as far as third base, but he was stranded there. The right-handed hitting right fielder takes one off the arm, and he knew it all the way. He just watched it come in, and he is awarded first base.
Yeah, that one about as obvious of a hit by pitch as you're going to see. Curved way to the inside, and as you mentioned, Brown just wore it and said, thank you very much. Doesn't even look too affected, and here comes Brooks Hassenclaver. He's been on the verge of getting a hit tonight, but he's just been kind of out of it so far. Can he correct it right here? We're going to find out.
The left-handed hitter facing the right-handed throwing Cade Rowland. And this is a huge moment, and you know what Brady Brown is about to do.
Yes.
I mean, he has got steel speed written all over him. Already a big lead at first base. First pitch home is at the knees for a called strike. And Hassenclaver has been uncharacteristically, how do we say this, not patient, but rather unaggressive with some of these pitches that were on the edges of the zone. Here's the 0-1, and that misses a little bit low for ball 1.
Yeah, I think he usually has some form of patience, but he also is able to balance that with his aggressiveness, and I think he's just leaned too much into the patience aspect of it tonight. We'll see if that aggressiveness comes back in a big way here.
1 ball, 1 strike, man on first. There's a ground ball. This could be 2. Played on the backhand by the second baseman. Flip to the shortstop, and the relay on to first for the double play. And that will end the inning. A big moment for the Chinooks as they get Hassenclaver to ground out into the double play, and the score remains 5-3 as we go to the top of the 9th on ESPN Radio.
Hazardous trees are such a problem here on the Kenai Peninsula, but they have to be handled, and the place to call is AK Tree Solutions. With many years of experience in residential hazardous tree removal, they offer guaranteed customer satisfaction, and they're very accommodating. AK Tree Solutions also offers tree pruning, and they're licensed and insured. Get those hazardous trees off your property today. Call AK Tree Solutions, 907-398-2903. That's 907-398-2903.
Ready to spice up your day? Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant in Kenai is serving a bold, authentic Mexican food made with love and packed with flavor. New to town or just passing through, this is your must-stop spot for amazing variety, unbeatable prices, and all your favorites. Enjoy the free salsa bar and kick back with cold beer or a glass of wine. Located just past the last traffic light in Kenai, headed north. Playa Azul is where the fiesta never ends. Come hungry, leave happy. Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant.
Russ Martin climbing the bump for his second inning of work, or rather a continuation of his appearance, coming in the top of this 8th inning, getting J.J. Pruneau to ground out. The Oilers trail the Eagle River Chinooks 5-3 as we go to the final frame.
Yeah, and setting up for a potential fantastic final frame. Oilers have been oh so close so many times to tying this game up, just have not been able to manage it. However, if they want a chance in the bottom of the 9th, they're going to have to get some solid pitching from Russ Martin, who's been good so far, but has the bottom 3 in the order coming up. The biggest thing here, you want to make sure you take those out 1, 2, 3 if you can help it, because you do not want Reese Vatser to the plate here in the top of the 9th.
Correct. Carter Reed, Samuel Hess, and Tate Green due up for the Chinooks. The 3 of them a combined 1 for 9 tonight. Leading it off is Carter Reed. First pitch from Martin is a curveball that is a called strike. Beautiful looking curveball, a lot of action.
Of course, Russ was a part of the University of Arkansas Little Rock team that made it to the Super Regionals just a couple months ago and faced off against Troy there.
Here's the 0-1. That's a breaking ball that looked like it could have been called a strike on the outside corner, but instead is called a ball. And the count evens up 1-1. No outs. Base is empty, top of the 9th. 5-3 Chinooks lead. 1-1 pitch. Line drive toward right center field. Charging it is Brady Brown, and boy, does he teleport over to get that catch on a kind of a dipping line drive. And there was no doubt that he was going to get to that.
If you are listening in, this may be a reference that's a little bit out there, but it's almost like an instant transmission move for Brady Brown whenever he goes after the baseball. The way he's able to get to it so quickly, very impressive. Again, very good speed, and it's been proven time and time again that him being in right field tonight was a good decision.
Russ Martin now facing Samuel Hess. First pitch, a called strike. And Martin looking very automatic since coming in relief. 2 batters retired in order for him going back to the 8th. A weak grounder to the left side. It'll be played by the shortstop. Having to throw on the move. Skips in. And a safe call. And the Oilers dugout doesn't like it as Samuel Hess legs out the infield single. A nice dig by Hassenclaver, the first baseman, and I thought he may have gotten Hess, but bang, bang play.
Yeah, it was a bang, bang play, and I can see either call in that situation, to be honest. The thing is, the ball was placed so well toward the left side of the park that it kind of confused Graw and Shane Cannon as to which one needed to field it. Cannon eventually took it, but he had such a long way to throw off balance that it was going to be hard to make that play.
The old Derek Jeter jump throw. There's a grounder. This could be 2. The throw to second in time. The relay to first. Not there. Quick enough. And that is now back-to-back. And Dave Dawson has been tossed. The field umpire, Casey Moser, has just thrown head coach Dave Dawson out of the game. And Dawson is going to come out and get his money's worth before he leaves the field.
He certainly is. And listen, there's a lot of frustration here tonight, and you can understand it from his perspective because there have been a lot of calls that you could see going either way, and a lot of them, unfortunately for the Oilers, have gone against them tonight. So it's easy to see where the frustration is coming from, and it's cliche to say, but baseball, it's a game of emotions, and there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of temper whenever there's this much on the line, and it's this point in the season, these two teams fighting for a series win, and yeah, it's getting contentious, I'd say, here in the top of the ninth.
And that was also a close play. To me, I thought the play at first, the previous at-bat was Samuel Hess. I thought that one looked more like Hess was out than Tate Green here grounding out on the throw to first base. So, I don't know. That was a tough one.
Yeah, and again, it depends on perspective. To be honest, I thought Green was out for sure right there from my vantage point, whereas in the previous play, I thought that they did make the right call on the Samuel Hess single. So, again, it comes to perspective, but either way, I don't think Dave Dawson's going to be too happy about some of these calls.
And he will head back to the clubhouse. And you mentioned it, the Oilers did not want to see Reese Vassar. He is 3 for 4 tonight. But the Chinooks, with a little help from their friends in blue, are able to roll the lineup over, and it's righty-righty now. Martin and Vassar. First pitch is a fly ball straight into left field. Charging in and making an underhanded basket catch is Wyatt Bundy. Not exactly the safest way to do that, but either way, the same result. And the side is retired. The Oilers need 2 runs to see an extra inning, 3 to win it in 9. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Peninsula trailing 5-3 on ESPN Radio.
Looking for the toughest trailers and equipment on the Kenai? Head to White Spruce Trailer Sales on K Beach Road, your local dealer for TYM tractors. That's right, they have TYM tractors and implements. Anything from TYM pallet forks, box blades, snow removal, and more. Built to work as hard as you do. From sales to service, they've got the parts you need to keep your equipment running strong all year long. Speaking of service, White Spruce offers a full-service shop with special discounts for commercial companies because supporting local businesses matter.
Yes, Steam on Wheels does install lift stations. Generally, a lift station is required with high groundwater or some type of elevational difference that's going to require a pressurized mound or bed. But they do provide an excellent sewer system when installed correctly. Conventional septics are the preferred way to go. But when you have high groundwater or an elevational difference where you've got to pump it up a hill to do it conventionally, a lift station may be the only way to go. Give us a call at Steam on Wheels, 907-262-3240.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Well, it's go time for the Peninsula Oilers. Tonight they have 3 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. The guys they want due up in this situation are going to be coming to the plate. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Mark Nellis, Nolan Gra, and Jack Holubowski. Gra and Nellis a combined 6 for 8. Cade Rowland back on the mound and drops in a dime on a slider, backdoor slider that has Nellis looking, and the count is 0-1. Oilers trail 5-3. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and Nellis quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, Rowland working very quickly here to start against Nellis. Last thing you want at the Oilers is a quick out right here.
0-2 pitch, fastball off the plate. No, he went to the slider again, and that one just dropped off, and he couldn't get Nellis to chase.
Down 2 runs, you got to get a guy on base early to set the tone for Peninsula.
1-2, chopped backward and foul, and Nellis just gets a piece of it and stays alive.
And this is the best part of the order for the Oilers to have to start things off with Nellis and Gra back-to-back. Considering the success we've seen from them tonight, they're going to need to deliver in a big way.
And if Nellis can get himself aboard, Gra and Holubowski both have power. Here's the 1-2, and that's a curveball that misses inside. And now it's the Chinooks dugout that's barking at the officiating.
Nobody's satisfied tonight.
No. Again, very quickly, 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, and down goes Nellis, swinging for the first time tonight. That's strikeout number 3 for Cade Rowland.
Give credit to Cade Rowland. That was a great blend of fastball and breaking ball right there. Able to get Mark Nellis for the strikeout. That's a big first out to set the tone here in the bottom of the ninth.
Left-handed hitting third baseman Nolan Graw will step in. 3 for 4 tonight. And looks at a strike on the first pitch from Rowland, who is working at a much quicker pace in this final inning than in any one before. Here he comes already with a fastball or a breaking pitch that misses low for ball 1.
Yeah, the quick pace, it almost is disorienting in a way if you're a batter sometimes.
0-1, or 1-1 rather, inside, and that goes off the leg guard of the catcher, J.J. Pruneau, for ball 2.
Only thing is, if you're Rowland, you don't want to work too fast for your own good because sometimes you make mistakes in the process of trying to stay in a rhythm.
1-1 pitch. Weakly grounded, a swinging bunt, and this is going to be a base hit for Nolan Graw. Cued it off the end of the bat, right into that space between third and the pitching mound. And a little bit of fortune going the way of the Oilers.
Yeah, it wasn't hard contact, but it was in the perfect spot, and really the Chinooks not expecting a swinging bunt in that situation. Works out well. And you talked about power. Jack Holubowski certainly has power. If anyone's going to get a home run in this lineup tonight, it's probably going to be him. He's been close once in this game. Maybe he can get one here.
Yeah, in his last at-bat, he gave one a ride. It's about 340 feet. 350 feet to left field, straightaway left field, and he hit it about 1 foot shy of that mark against this pitcher, Rowland. We'll see what he can do here. A home run would tie it. First pitch, a big swing, and he was going for the downs with that one, and he's behind in the count 0-1.
Certainly was, but the thing is you can't be over-aggressive trying to get a home run and not get on base and get that second out. That's the balance that Holubowski's trying to fight with here.
0-1 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 2.
Boy, another pitch very close to the inside part of the plate, but well done by Rowland. Again, it just looks a lot easier for him here so far in this bottom of the ninth.
0-2 count, runner on first, 1 out, Oilers trailing by 2. Pitch on the way, in the dirt, blocked by Pruneau, and he keeps it in front of him, and that'll keep Graw on first base. Count a ball and 2 strikes.
Good job by Holubowski once again not to chase, holds off for another critical moment with a 1-2 coming up.
Rowland looks in, working from the stretch, gets his sign, and now kicks and fires. There's a ground ball to the left side and through into left field. Jack Holubowski with his first hit of the night. And the Oilers have 2 base runners. The game-tying run is now aboard.
Great hit by Holubowski to the left side. A bit of a slow roller, but not slow enough where Vassar and Hurst could make a play on it. And now the Oilers set up possibly to bring in that tying run with 1 out as Easton Babe is going to make a call out of the mound, out of the dugout, maybe take a call to the bullpen.
We'll see if he goes out there with a hook for Rowland. Right now they're just talking. This may just be a conversation. And I'm curious here, if you were going to bring Lusky or Musial into the game, this is when you would do it.
Yeah, this certainly would be the time. Right now it looks like Cannon and Fernandez both up. Now, Dave Dawson's no longer in this game. He's gotten thrown out. So, in theory, that decision would be up to Larry McCann in this spot to figure out if he wanted to bring in a pinch hitter. And it looks like he might be considering that here as he looks toward the dugout.
Now batting number 5, Shane.
And it is going to be Shane Cannon who will come out to hit. The right-handed hitting shortstop tonight is 1 for 3. A single all the way back in the first inning, and he picked up an RBI. He's got 2 on ahead of him with just 1 out. Cade Rowland will stay out there. First pitch is ripped but foul off to the left side, and the count is 0-1.
And I don't want to emphasize caution too much here, but Cannon's got to be careful on anything that's a ground ball. You cannot afford to hit it up the middle unless it's a really good shot, because the Chinooks are definitely going to be looking for a game-ending double play here.
They got one to end the 8th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A fastball low and away, and a great take by Shane Cannon. The inning started off with a swinging strikeout by Mark Nellis. Oilers trail by 2 in the bottom of the 9th, 5-3. Then back-to-back singles by Nolan Graw and Jack Holubowski. 1-1 pitch to Shane Cannon, way low and outside from Cade Rowland. and the count now 2-1.
This would be a great time for a patented Shane Cannon double. We know he's got capabilities to hit it towards the corners. He's done it against the Chinooks before, and a shot like that here could be the tying hit that the Oilers need.
He's got 8 RBIs this season, 9 if you count the one tonight. 2-1 pitch, grounded, and this could be 2. Right to the shortstop, Vassar to second and on to first, but it's high. And the Oilers dodge a bullet. There's 2 outs now and runners on the corners. Down to third base goes Nolan Graw on the fielder's choice ground out. Shane Cannon laying it all on the line as he dove head first into first base. Jack Holubowski retired on the 6-4 putout. And now there's 2 dead in the inning, and the Oilers are down to their final out.
That was gutsy from Shane Cannon. Like you said, laid it all out. And you talked about pinch hitters. Here comes Luke Lusky.
Here he is, Luke Lusky, the man last night who delivered the walk-off hit, and he had a home run in the game, too. He was 3 for 4 with a pair of singles and a home run to face Cade Rowland, and he looks at a fastball at belt high for called strike 1.
A lot of weight on his shoulders here, coming in kind of cold, has not played in this game. Can he deliver on this pinch hit? Home run would be great, but you're just looking for some contact.
There's a ground ball, but foul off to the left side, and Luke Lusky, who was the hero last night, got mobbed by his teammates in the outfield after he drove in the game-winning run in the bottom of the 10th on a single up the middle, has a chance to tie this game or at least bring the Oilers back within 1. The Oilers trail 5-3. We're in the bottom of the 9th. It's an 0-2 count. Runners on the corners. Lusky at the plate. A fly ball towards center field, and this should be playable for Kai Butler. He's there to make the catch, and the side is retired. The Chinooks pick up game 4 of the series, and we are 2-2. And it'll be a rubber match tomorrow night, the showdown between the Chinooks and the Oilers right here at Coral Seymour. Your final score, 5-3. The Chugiak team is your winner. We'll be right back with your PCHS postgame show on ESPN Radio.
Sponsored by Central Peninsula Hospital.
Your health matters every day, not just when you're sick. At Peninsula Community Health Services, we're here to keep you well with personalized primary care and preventative services for the whole family. From checkups and screenings to managing ongoing conditions, our caring team is ready to help you stay ahead of your health. Don't wait. Take the first step toward feeling your best today. Call PCHS at 907-262-3119 or online at pchsak.org.
Peninsula Community Health Services. Healthcare for all.
When trying to find a dentist,
give me a couple
it can
extra.
be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. All right. The art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
The World Cup's coming and everybody's talking defense. Here's a strategy that works long after the final whistle. If your family is complete, a no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy is a safe, effective move. If you're done building your team, it may be time to strengthen your defense. Dr. Alvarez can perform your procedure in Soldotna or Homer. It's quick, comfortable, and a whole lot easier than chasing toddlers into extra time. Don't leave your future up to a lucky bounce. Call Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics 907-235-1010 and schedule your no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy. Score some peace of mind and enjoy the games.
Ready to spice up your day? Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant in Kenai is serving up bold, authentic Mexican food made with love and packed. All right. New to town or just passing through, this is your must-stop spot for amazing variety, unbeatable prices, and all your favorites. Enjoy the free salsa bar and kick back with cold beer or a glass of wine. Located just past the last traffic light in Kenai, headed north. Playa Azul is where the fiesta never ends. Come hungry, leave happy. Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant.
And now it's time for the postgame show on ESPN 1140 and 96.9. Brought to you by Peninsula Community Health Services and State Farm agent Christy Babcock. With game recaps and on-field interviews, let's return to the field on ESPN.
Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. The Oilers fall in 9 innings by a final score of 5-3 to the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. The Oilers drop to 13-9 on the season. The Chinooks improve to 12-10. And hopefully for the Chinooks, they're looking to move themselves up in the standings. It is your Peninsula Community Health Services postgame show. PCHS supports your health, offering medical, dental, eye care, and behavioral health services. Visit them online at pchsak.org or call and schedule an appointment today at 907-262-3119. Well, the Oilers had their chances. Fans and Coach Dave Dawson, for sure, will want to complain, and rightfully so, about some of the calls that were made in the field that went against them. They lost at least one run directly as a result of a missed call by the field umpire, Casey Moser. But what you have to look at, the stat for me that tells the tale, is tonight the Oilers 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that kind of tells the story. And like you said, the umpiring obviously will be a big talking point among Oilers fans and probably the Oilers themselves. But you have opportunities as well right in front of you that the Oilers didn't take advantage of, and that's going to be another sticking point. In most of their losses this season, it's been because of a problem like that, not being able to capitalize with runners in scoring position. They had a lot of chances tonight to be able to tie this game, just unable to. Of course, factors outside their control may have also prevented them from winning. A lot of emotion coming out of this game, but I think it'll only serve as fuel for tomorrow when they take on the Chinooks in the rubber match in Game 5.
Yeah, that game will be right here at Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. The first pitch is scheduled for 6:30 tomorrow night. Winning pitcher this evening is Colin Ott, who went 4 innings on the mound. I guess, do you have to go 5 in the ABL to be considered for the win?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so in that case, then we'll change that up. The winning pitcher tonight is Cade Rowland, the reliever who pitches 5 innings of relief work. He allows no runs, 4 hits, scattered those 4 hits over the 5 innings. He came in relief, walks 1, and he strikes out 3. The Oilers, again, unable to pull through, which has been uncharacteristic for them. They have been very strong with runners in scoring position this year, so we'll consider this one just a little blip on the radar. Losing pitcher tonight, Cody Smathers, who pitches 1 1/3, starting the game for the Oilers, allows 4 runs, all earned on 3 hits. He walked 4 batters and struck out 1. So maybe if you have a chance, you could talk to Cody and ask him if he's feeling all right. Maybe he had some bad cheese or something before the game.
Yeah, had a bee sting, something like that happen?
Yeah, we saw that. Oilers have a couple relievers come in. Nate Ramirez, Justin Parks, and Russ Martin. They all do their jobs for the most part. The only run given up other than the one from Smathers was a late insurance run hit against Justin Parks. And looking down the order here, big night for the 2 and 3 hitters in the Peninsula lineup, as Mark Nellis in the 2 spot goes 3 for 5 tonight with 2 runs scored. Nolan Graw 4 for 5 tonight, 4 singles and 1 ground out. But aside from those 2, it was just 4 other hits scattered, one by Shane Cannon, Isaac Fernandez, Wyatt Bundy, and Brady Brown picking up singles there. Final thoughts on tonight's game, Dylan?
Yeah, a frustrating way to end it for the Oilers, obviously, and I think the frustration will continue in tomorrow, but I think it can be used in a good way. Like I said, emotion is a part of baseball, it's a part of our sport, and you expect to see it on a night-to-night basis in some capacity. I think the Oilers can use this tomorrow in a good way, and I think they're going to come out with the mindset of, hey, let's take back what we lost yesterday, let's go out there, dominate, go get this victory, and go get this series against the Chinooks, and stay atop the ABL standings. Make no mistake, there is still a lot to fight for here in this one.
You know, and I'll tag on to the end of that we had a pretty substantial coaching decision made, and not one I necessarily disagree with, by Coach Dave Dawson, and that was to leave Owen Musial and Luke Lusky out of the lineup. And I like that call, because you're in a position where you have the luxury of resting some of your guys, like those heavy hitters, and giving them that chance to take a night off, collect themselves, build their energy back up. You had a 1.5 game lead on the Miners. Obviously, that's now just a half game after back to one game. Miners idle tonight, or were they?
They beat the
that's
Glacier
right.
Pilots.
They
yes.
beat the Pilots in that rout 10-0 in 7 innings. So the lead is now just a half game. But for the Oilers, you lose a game that was close, and you still maintain a half game lead on the rest of the league. And now you have some of these big guys like Lusky and Musial are rested. And Musial, again, he did look tired the other night, and he looked like he could have used a night off on Tuesday night. Owen Musial was 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. And after what we've seen from Jack Holubowski, Brooks Hassenclaver the last few nights, he may see a night off as well, potentially tomorrow night. Hassenclaver tonight, 0 for 5 with a pair of strikeouts. Uncharacteristic to see him not getting on base even once.
Yeah, I didn't have the night that we usually expect from Brooks. And, again, it's going to happen. Every great player is going to have an off night. Hassenclaver just didn't quite have his usual stuff. But, again, I fully expect that to come back in short order, maybe even as soon as tomorrow.
Oilers maintain first place despite the loss. Final score 5-3. The Chinooks win it with runs in the 4th and in the 8th inning. Oilers fall, and they will be back here tomorrow night for the rubber match of the 5-game series. Don't miss it. Either make your way to Coral Seymour or be sure to tune in here on ESPN 1140 AM, 96.9 FM, radio, Kenai.com, or you can also catch it on the Peninsula Oilers YouTube channel. That's going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. For the Peninsula Oilers, for our broadcast producer back in our K-Beach studio, Caleb Manuel, and for my broadcast partner tonight, Dylan Simmons, my name is Nick Sorrell saying good night and God bless.
Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.
Later.
There's baseball.